Brandon Brown, incredible talent on the court, awesome man off the court, known him since high school, teammates with him in college. Very excited for people to hear his story through the podcast. A lot of respect for Brandon.
All right, man, we are here for a Cut Talk 525 podcast, and I done interviewed a lot of cats, with this podcast and get their stories, but I wouldn't be doing it right if I ain't get somebody from Dominican, somebody from the D, two-time state champion, man. Let me read the resume, get the resume, do them right. So I went to elementary school / middle school, Mesmer Prep.
That's right.
Which then transferred to Lady of Our Sorrows his senior year. Won the Padre, that's big time. We're going to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Made the decision to go to Dominican, two-time state champion. Played for Coach Keith Bearden, legend in the city. We're going to definitely give him his flowers. And going back to middle school, you only lost one game your 8th grade year too, so that's dope.
Yeah.
At Dominican, did 3 years of varsity, 1 year of JV. Started a 2-year starter, had some starts his sophomore year. Made the decision to go to UW Lacrosse, 3-year starter. Led the team in steals. My man plays defense. 4 years on the team, man. MVP his junior year. Player of the week twice. Senior year, we'll let him get into that, man. But just dope individual. Your point guard, man. Want to get into his story. One of the most underrated cats from Dominican. I let him speak on that too, but pure point guard, somebody who can run a show. So I'm happy to have him. Brandon Brown here, man.
Appreciate
the floor
you,
is yours, my brother, man.
Appreciate
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You reached out, and I was like, all right, like, let me go ahead and come to the pod and tell my story, man. So, I appreciate you having me. You've been with it. What you've been doing here is dope, bro.
Man, I appreciate that. So, like I tell all the guests, I like to get the story from the beginning and just work our way down up to what you got going on now, bro. So, from the beginning, bro, let us know, man, where you from, sir?
Well, I'm from Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up on Roosevelt pretty much my whole life, 49th, 48th and Roosevelt, right between Burleigh and Capitol.
Yep.
Man, I said, got into the ball early, man. Like, I had an uncle, my uncle of, 5 years older than me.
Yeah. You know how that go.
Yeah, you know how that go.
Yeah.
But had an uncle who was cold back in the day, man. So I used to look at him like, I can remember going to his warning games or, seeing him in grade school. He was getting 40 balls, 30 balls. I mean, at that time, it wasn't even no three-pointers.
Right.
So he out here killing.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I, got to the game, kind of fell in love with the game, just following him around, wanted to be like my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, just start playing. Mom put me in leagues, Pops put me in leagues, and that's actually how I met Keith. Keith was he coached my uncle for like a couple tournaments.
Okay.
So anybody who knows my mom real protective. Like I was the only child for a long time. So my mom like, I ain't let she don't want me around nobody. But she knew Keith from my uncle, so she was like, she trusts Keith.
Yeah.
Like if anything, if he gonna play basketball, we put him with Keith.
Yeah.
So probably like, I think it was like 3rd, 4th grade. I don't know what AAU is.
Yeah.
I played a couple YMCA leagues, but she put me with Keith and his AAU team. At the time, it was the Panthers.
Okay, yeah.
And I just started rocking out from there. Like we played a couple, played locally. We weren't really going nowhere. Played locally. Keith, what I can say about Keith always had talent. Like people be talking about like, oh, these big programs. Not to throw no shade, but I'm throwing it like playground. I think DTA at the time. They was like, oh, they always had the coldest players. I'd be like, a lot of the times, man, Keith had them players first. Like if you go just look, he had. I mean, I was playing with Jerry. Jerry was playing up with us. We had Jerry. We had Gruber. So he had J.R. Morris before he was over there at Playground.
Whip, bro.
Yeah, like he had a lot of players. Like even Flay, before Flay went to DTA, he had a lot of players before they popped. Yeah. I always say, like, man, that's because Keith he knew what he was doing. He knew how to coach players. He knew how to develop talent. He just didn't have that, that sponsorship or that backing for him to keep the players around. Because at the end of the day, players don't want to be seen. They don't want to have to pay for that stuff out of pocket. So, it was with Keith. Was with Keith all grade school, basically.
Okay, and I think you hit it on the head because, like, bro's so low key and just chill. He don't necessarily want to be, like, out there, so it reflects in the team. But, bruh, we're going to have to tap into middle school, and you said you won the Padre. Yeah. That's a big deal. So, in terms of when did you start playing in school?
So, like I said, I played with Keith, AAU, third, fourth.
Okay.
5th grade is when you can start playing, in middle school, elementary school. So 5th grade, I just got lucky. Keith was my coach too for grade school. So I'm like, oh, this is bet. Like I know the system. I wasn't the point guard at the time. At the time, I'm on the wing.
We're gonna get into that too.
So I'm on the wing. My 5th grade year, we decent. We probably. I remember 4th grade, we didn't win no games at AAU. We didn't win no games at all.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, we didn't win no games at all. Yeah. So, come 5th grade school year, we win like 10 games. It was only like a 12-game season. We win 10 games. So I'm like, oh, we decent. Yeah. So then the next year, 6th grade, our school kind of the choice program hit.
Okay.
So it's like, while the school was predominantly black, it was like a little bit mixed. 6th grade hit, it's nothing but black. I was like, all right, cool. But most of these dudes I was playing AAU with. So I'm like, all right, cool. So 6th grade, my homeboy Donald, he was the point guard in 5th grade. He ended up leaving school. He ended up getting kicked out.
Okay.
So 6th grade, he moved me to the point. He like, man, we gonna move B to the point. I'm like, all right, cool. Moved me to the point. My guy Trail came to the school. Trail was like he's our big man. He was like 6 foot. Yeah. In 6th grade,
Right.
So 6th grade year, we smack everybody like undefeated. We going through the little Catholic school league, smacking people. Every tournament we in, smacking people. So I'm like, all right, cool. 7th grade year, Keith like, all right, we gonna we didn't even play 7th grade because we smacking somebody. He's like, we playing
okay.
We playing 8th grade. We play 8th grade. Smack everybody. Smack almost everybody. I ain't gonna fully smack almost everybody. We make it to the Padres 7th grade year. We was the first team to do that. They quit letting teams do that where you can be like, oh no, you can't play up and then playing Padres. So we playing Padre. We make it to the Final Four, lose, go to the championship. So the next year we gonna run it. We got everybody coming back. Me, my guy Trail. At this point, Trail turned into a 2 guard because he didn't quit growing. We got Breon that went to the
shout out to
Big Breeze. We got my boy Dewan. So like we smacking people, and we only lost 1 game. This is the crazy part about losing 1 game. So we out in I think we got a tournament. It was a tournament in Mequon.
Okay.
In my home. So we out there, we smacking. We first half, I'm just dishing. I'm a point guard. I'm dishing, getting everybody involved. So one of the little dudes on the other team, I forgot his name, but he was a little point guard. He was decent in like a little school. He like, Brandon, why ain't you scoring? Why ain't you scoring? I'm like, man, I'm scoring the second half. I like getting everybody involved. Bro, second half, first play of the game. First play. I go baseline, go for the layup. Get undercut, land on my ankle, break my foot. Boom, break my foot.
Damn.
So I'm like, damn, or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? We go to the hospital. We drive to St. Joe's. That's why you don't go to St. Joe's. You in Milwaukee, can't go to St. Joe's. I go to St. Joe's. This happened at like 8 in the morning, bro. We in the weight room, the emergency room, till like 4 p.m., bro. And they still ain't looked at my ankle. So we end up driving back out to Mequon, going to a different hospital. They get me right in. They like, you got a hairline fracture. Damn. You're probably gonna be out for like 2-3 weeks. I'm like, all right, cool. Give me a boot. The next game, we lost. That's the only game we lost this season. It was the first game I didn't play. It was a championship game of the tournament. And when I say we lost, I was so pissed because it was just like they didn't have their point guard. Like we
couldn't get into stuff probably.
Couldn't get into stuff right. We missed like 10 layups. I'm like, bro, what is y'all on? So that was the only game we lost. But then, we went on a run. We got a Padre, we smacking teams. Like, I think Man, our average wins was probably about like 20, bro. It was easy. We getting it on break. We throwing it to Breon, he dunking. Trail trying to dunk. Like we was just doing our thing. It was fun. That's what I can say. It was fun.
Yeah.
Ended up winning the Padre, and it was on from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Just speak on the transition, bro, from going to the wing and then getting the ball put in your hands, bro. Was it like seamless or was it like some growing pains?
I don't want to say it was seamless, but it wasn't really no growing pains. I don't really know how to explain it. Certain stuff came natural because I'm an unselfish player.
Yeah.
So it was really just, all right, what do I need to work on to be, for the team to be good and for me to be a point guard. So I always was like, if I'm on the wing, I'm looking to score.
Yeah.
If I'm bringing up the ball, I'm a point guard. I looked at like the John Stocktons, the Jason Kidds. They was pass first point guards, so that's what I looked to do.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't hard. It was just like, man, get your handle right. And my dad was on me about it.
Yeah.
Like, my dad.
Shout out to Pops, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops.
Pops was he was a hard critic. You know what I'm saying? But Pops he would just give me like little tidbits or whatever, like, cause he wasn't really no hooper, but my dad was an athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was in the Army, so I can just remember. I remember one time, like in grade school, I got a steal, and he was like, "Man, you was on the left side of the court. You got to dribble all the way to the right side to get to the layup." I was like, "All right, I got to work on my left." He's like, "Yeah, work on your left." So it would just be things like that. I'd go down in the basement, be dribbling the ball, looking in the mirror, making sure I ain't looking down. Go outside, be on the sidewalk, working on it, and then the stuff in the game, if you do it, you practice it, you got to work on it in the game. So against the hard teams, against the weak teams, I'm using the left. I'm, just doing all the drills I know how to do to make my handle better. So that was like the transition to point guard was, be honest, man, it was easy. Especially with Keith. Keith, like, I knew what Keith wanted to do, and I knew that as a point guard, you got to relay what the coach wanted on the floor. So I think it was just more of me learning, like, time and possession, learning what the other team really want to do. Like, all right, this team want to speed us up, slow it down. Like, if I see we done went up the court 3-4 times and we both teams missing layups or both teams scoring, and that ain't really our game, that ain't really our team game, slow it down. Like, slow this thing down. Let's get a good look that we want. So
for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't that big hard. It wasn't that hard of a transition.
For sure. So now, man, win the Padre. Now it's time to make a decision for high school. And I want you to speak on that last summer going into high school year with the scholars. Speak on that too. So I'll have you speak on the decision first.
Man,
how did Dominican come around, bro? And what was your options at the time too?
Dominican really was out of nowhere, bro. The options as far as school, my mom ain't care nothing about no basketball. She was like, I wanted to go to Mesmer. Like, I was like, I want to go back with my homeboy.
That makes sense.
I want to stay with the core group. She was like, you ain't going to Mesmer. Like, y'all was in there acting up. So like, I understood it. So Shorewood, they was like on me hard. Like, Shorewood was like, you can come in and start. And just to be transparent, bro, I ain't know nothing about high school basketball. I don't know freshman, varsity, none of that. JV, they was just like, you come in and start. I don't know if they was talking about freshman, varsity. I'm like, all right, cool. So, no, Shorewood, Marquette. Marquette was like, they coach really liked me. But my mom she somehow got me in the Dominican, bro. They wasn't even like, Wally wasn't like recruiting me or nothing. I knew a Dominican because we played there my 8th grade year. But yeah, I wasn't really like, I didn't know like the basketball history or something like that. So I just ended up going just strictly off school. Mom's was like, hey, this is where you going. I don't care nothing about that basketball stuff. I care about your education. So that's where I ended up. As far as AAU that year, AAU was cracking. So with the scholars, like I said, scholars, I played with basically everybody from grade school. It was just maybe like two players went their own way. The rest of us, it's the same team. So that year, 8th grade year, we always played in the state tournament. Crazy part about the state tournament is, man, we always came in third. Like every year we came in third. We was either running into Swish or we was running into the Madison Spartans. So Swish had JR. Madison Spartans had they had the twins from Madison East and they had West and Corey Vernon. So I'm like, bro, every year one of them teams put us out to go to the finals. I was like, that was the biggest thing. It's like, man, we got to beat them because everybody on our team, we wanted to play playground. Playground had Billy at the time.
Yeah.
They had Breon who was playing with us. We was like, man,
Yeah.
we know he could be playground. We just ain't never
got
matched
to
up
see
with
him.
him. Yeah, never seen him.
Yeah.
But that year, that was probably like a year where everybody was like, all right, like we kind of solidified like Scholars is gonna be a good AAU team. Bro. Like, we here to stay. We doing the fundraisers. We washing cars. We selling dinner. So it was
Putting
like,
in work. That's
we putting in the work to show like, hey man, we got a squad and we can compete with anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So now, bro, it's going into high school. Did you play summer league? Your 8th grade going into
No.
You didn't do summer league,
No,
so
nobody knew me, bro. The crazy part about it, just to speak on that, my boy Trell, who I was talking about, he was getting recruited by Dominican. They was on him heavy. So he was playing summer league with Dominican and ended up going to Mesmer.
Okay.
So it was
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah, I ain't played summer league, none of that. Like JR and it was playing summer league. Bro, I just stepped on campus like I gotta prove myself.
So I gotta ask you, bro. So you step on campus fresh, not really knowing too much. When did you come across the basketball, just period, at Dominican, bro?
So of course you go to school, you like I'm gonna play. Like I don't know the varsity, freshman, JV, none of that. I'm just like I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of spooked because when I get there, I know Breon, so I'm like, Breon here. So I played grade school with him. Then I know JR. I don't really know JR, but I done played against him a bunch of times. So I'm like, oh, that's Buddy. Buddy got game.
Yeah.
And at the time, I ain't like him. I'm like, Buddy got game. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't like him, bro. I had played him. Yeah, I done played him in a bunch of, all AAU. I thought he was soft. Just competitive stuff, competitive kid stuff. But I was like, oh, I know Buddy. But then the crazy part, so Ray T was in one of my classes as a freshman. So I'm like, dog, I don't know, like he transferred, so he had to take that class.
Where did Ray come from?
Ray was at Vincent.
Okay.
He was supposed to be in that class with Boo and them. With Boo and GB. Okay. So I'm like, just imagine that. If he would have stayed there, like, that would have been crazy.
Right.
But so I see Ray. I'm like, bro, if he a freshman, ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm gonna be able to play, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way I'm gonna make the team. But you start having your open gyms. I knew they had Matt Johnson, who was a year older than me. I knew Matt because we played him when I was playing up that year. So I'm like, oh, I know Matt. I ain't know Rob, but I was like, dog, look like he got game. Like, this look like a grown man in high school.
Right.
So we started having open gyms. Open gyms. I usually put the freshmen with the freshmen and. You might play a couple of the upperclassmen if you. So in the open gyms, I'm holding my own. Like freshmen, I'm killing them. Any freshman on the Wilson name, I'm killing. The only person that could really compete with me freshman wise, as far as a guard, was JR. Yeah. I'm like, all right, like, we competing, but anybody else that was there, I'm like, I'm dogging them. And then Breon was there, so Breon was already he recruited there, so he was already slated to play varsity, but. I really just took my opportunities in open gym, man. Open gym, I was going at the freshmen, and then like any person who I thought once I started learning, I thought at the time like, oh, they on varsity. Yeah. And once I started realizing what it was, I'm like, oh, they on varsity. If he a junior on varsity, he's sitting the bench, I'm gonna go at him. Because I'm gonna show like I got more. I know I got more skill than him. I might not be fit. But I got more skill. And then just anybody I was trying to go at, and I wasn't backing down. And the good part about it was McGivern, Coach McGivern was there. So he kind of knew. He kind of saw me through the grade school. So he kind of putting the bug in the ear like, yeah, man, go at him. So, but yeah, once I got in there, it was cool. So the year started out, I was on freshman. Like I practiced. I ain't gonna say I ain't never played a game with freshmen, but I practiced with freshmen.
Who was the coach at the time for freshman? Was Flynn the coach or not yet?
Wasn't Flynn. I forgot the coach's name because they did him so dirty. So he was a real hard-nosed coach. That's what I remember. Like freshmen had practice super early. They made they was doing a lot of running, and freshmen, you out there with them preppy kids. Some of the freshmen weren't used to that. Yeah. So they did like, I don't know, bro. He was like a underwear model or something, right? Hey, so they put like his pictures up during one of the games, bro. They posted his pictures all in the hallway or whatever. So he ended up resigning. And I forgot who took over after that, but I forgot what his name was. He was a good coach. They just did him dirty. But I practiced with freshmen for a week. Like I did the tryout. Yeah. And then Wallerstein came grab me and was like, "Hey man, next week, we're moving you up to JV. You're gonna practice with JV." And then they had moved Breon down, so Breon was on varsity.
Okay.
They was like, man, we're gonna put Breon in there with you. You know, y'all played together, so
Yeah.
we just started rocking out.
Oh, that's dope. So was Ballester your JV coach, or he wasn't there yet?
No, he wasn't there yet. It was Coach McKenna.
Okay. Oh yeah, man. Shout out
McKenna
Coach
was there.
McKenna,
Yeah,
man.
McKenna was there.
Yeah.
So and he basically just let me and Breon rock out. It was like first practice, you know, they put me and Breon on JV. First practice, they do a little press break. I'm throwing Breon lobs.
Yeah.
So it's like we was just doing our thing. Like I think first game we played Brown Deer. Breon had like 30. I had a double. So it was like he was really just letting us rock out, do what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And just like, all right, just trying to make sure, you know, our talent, physically wise, we catch up. So.
That's dope. So just moving along that freshman year on JV. And JR, of course, he was on VAR, right?
Yeah, Jay was on VAR. So
Yeah.
The crazy part about that is, so like I said, I didn't know Jay at the time.
Yeah.
Everybody know me now. That's like, that's my brother. I ain't gonna say it's like my brother. That's my brother. So I ain't like him. I'm like, bro, I remember playing you in tournaments. I want MVP over him.
Yeah.
Just remember that, bro.
That's the short, right?
Yeah, like I want the MVP over, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, we competing. I remember Ray made us play 1-on-1. He was like, man, y'all play 1-on-1 after open gym or whatever. And this one I knew he was different. His competitiveness was different. So we playing. You know, I got the handle. He ain't used to guarding somebody with the handle. I'm hitting him. It's like a tie game or something. Or I might have been up 1 or something. Like it's 9, it's 10, 9 or something like that. I hit him, boom. I think I got the easy leg. You know, you get somebody to jump, they jump past you. I'm like, bro, all I feel is 2 hands grab the back of my shoulders. Pull me to the ground. I'm like, bro, what in the world? He like, yo, ball. I'm like, okay, I see where we at. He ended up winning the game, so I got to give it to him. He was like a different competitor than I was used to.
Did bro play football at all? Or
bro played soccer. He was like, he could play soccer. Bro was really just hoop.
Yeah.
But the crazy part about it is, like I said, that's how, you know, like the world is, how God got stuff. Like, you know, I was always back and forth with him. We had the same homeroom.
Yeah.
So, you know, we talking, we chopping it up. I'm like, oh, bro, cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We like, we got to ride the bus back to the crib. So we taking the bus.
Yeah.
We talking, we chopping on the bus. We just talking about AAU, stuff like that. Bro, we get off at the same stop.
Yeah.
We walk into the crib. I'm walking to the crib. We both just walking and talking. We get to like the same block. We both turn left. We both kind of looking like, hey, nigga, like you can't come to my, you can't come to my crib, bro. Like, so he asked like, hey, bro, where you going? Like you can't come. I'm like, bro, I live down the street. Bro, I live on the corner. He like, bro, I live right here. Like literally our whole life we stayed a block away from each other.
That's crazy.
So like when people talk about that backcourt, like bro, we was over each house every day. Like every day he at my crib.
Y'all ain't never know y'all stayed that close.
We didn't have a clue. If you met our moms, you know why, bro. we couldn't go past the corner, bro. We
I get it.
That close,
I get it. I get it.
But no, Jay played varsity freshman year, and then like I said, freshman year it was just me and Breon killing. And then I think I practiced with varsity one time because I think like all the Ray, Wimmer, all of them was on like recruiting trips or something. They didn't have enough players.
Okay.
And I was still there because I was home.
That's cool. Yeah,
I was right home with Jay. He was like, you still got your practice stuff? Come practice with us. So yeah, it was cool, man.
That's dope. So have a good freshman year on JV. Do your thing. Build chemistry with Breon. Now going into that summer, bro, you still with the scholars?
Yeah, bro. I never leave. I'm a scholar for life.
So just speak on that summer, bro.
That summer was dope. So we you know, like I said, we didn't have no sponsors, so we doing car washes, selling dinners, all that stuff. That summer my guy Q Bar came to the team.
Man, shout out to Q Bar, man.
Q Bar, bro. Q Bar funny.
Yeah.
But he came to the team, and then we was really rocking at that point, man. We came third again in state. I think that year we lost to the Spartans, and they ended up beating Playground them in the finals, so it was the same thing. But then we was going national, so we went to nationals. We finished like in the top 24 teams at nationals, and we went to a bunch of places I can't even remember. But we never went to big time in Vegas, but we went to nationals. We was at Kentucky Hoop Fest at the time. It was one other tournament I really can't remember, but AU was always the funnest, man. As far as like my dad kind of came on and was like, all right, I'm gonna help Keith coach.
Yeah.
But he was more of like our Keith the X's and O guys. My dad is like military, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get y'all
Keep y'all
physically
on
right.
line. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get y'all
Keep y'all
physically
right. Yeah, yeah.
So it used to be so funny because, like, I'll come to practice and, I'll ride with my dad sometimes my mom would drop me off. And I come in and my teammates be like, they be looking like, it's easy with his pops. And I'd be like, no, I ain't with my pops today.
Yeah.
I'd be like, he on the way though.
Yeah.
Because they already know once pops get there, he gonna be like, all right, in position, I need y'all push-ups.
Yeah.
We running stairs, we doing this. But
Yeah.
it was fun, man. I was like I said, the AAU trips where you with your dudes that you grew up with, dudes that you really kick it with, it ain't nothing like it, bro.
Yeah.
So that year we snapped though. Like I think we did good in Kentucky. We did good in nationals, and then after that it was kind of just like some local tournaments.
Okay.
Just all the local tournaments we pretty much won because we couldn't go. All the big teams were out at the big tournaments, so there weren't really no teams, and locally that was really
y'all
messing
cleaned
like
up
that.
locally, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of your game and just your profile, so you was a big point guard, bro. So going into sophomore year, bro, did you grow a little bit? Or you was always kind of like the same size?
I was kind of short, actually, bro. Like, I never thought I was a big, tall point guard. I knew I was long. I knew I had big feet.
Yeah.
But I never thought, like, people were like, oh, bro, you big. I never thought of myself as a big point guard.
Yeah.
But I did grow. So my freshman year, I was probably like 5'8", 5'9". By the time I was a sophomore, I'm a legit 6 foot. Like, all right, I'm 6 foot, but it wasn't like I thought I was like a huge point guard.
Yeah.
I just was like, you got to think I'm skinny.
Yeah.
So I was always like, everybody like, oh, you a big point guard? I'm like, bro, like $140, bro. Like, I'm not really a big point guard, bro. I knew coming into my sophomore year, I'm like, all right, I did the JV thing. I know I'm not gonna start. I know if I'm gonna start, I'm gonna have to earn it. I'm gonna have to be exceptional to start because I know they got Jay, I know they got Rob. I said Breon. They probably gonna start Breon because they losing Ray. Who else we had? We had a senior Max Vice Russell. Mondale was starting and Matt. So I'm like, all right, Mondale and Matt, I'm gonna have to outplay one of them in order to start. Like that's just what it is. But yeah, going into sophomore year, man, I just grinded. Like I came off the bench, and shout out to like Coach McGivern again. He was trying to get me in that lineup. He was like, but it was just he couldn't get me in it. He was like, it was certain things that go on, certain politics, but he was trying to get me in that starting lineup, and I ended up starting like I think 1 or 2 games.
Okay.
And it was like I did decent in those 1 or 2 games, but if you're gonna take somebody's spot, I always feel that, especially if they got ties to the school or whatever, you got to be exceptional. Yeah. So I wasn't, I wasn't like, man, we starting him, he averaging 15.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we starting him, we playing better. I'm not gonna deny that, but it ain't like Wally can't go back to the parents and be like, this is why we started him. You know what I'm saying? So I understood it.
Same situation for me, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm already doing.
I already know, bro.
So sophomore year, how did the season go in terms of just production? How was y'all doing, bro?
Man, sophomore year was crazy because we got all this talent. So, we not as talented as the team was before. The team was before. They was, they should have won state. They just didn't win it that year. But we got Jay, we got Rob, Breon, Mondale, myself, Matt. So we got some talent, but we weren't meshing. We won like 16 games. The Dominican, that's like, bro, you don't win 20 games. It's like,
something wrong.
Trash. You know what I'm saying? So I remember we lost at home, and it was like the first home loss in like 30 games or something. So it was like, man, we looking crazy out here. But what I can remember, it was just, I think it was an adjustment period for everybody. So you got to think with Rob went from starting as a sophomore on that loaded team to now him and JR trying to see who's going to be the man on the team. Which one of y'all going to be the leaders? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, so they battling it out. I'm battling it out with Matt and Mondale. I'm trying like, man, I like both. They're both cool, but I'm trying to take y'all time at the same time. I'm trying to get these minutes.
Yeah.
So, and then with Breon, it wasn't clicking with him. Him and Wally didn't click. So it would be like, me and Breon come off the bench. Breon went from starting to me and him come off the bench together. So I'm like, I'm trying to like, I didn't play with Breon, so I kind of know his game. I'm trying to keep him like, bro.
I get
but it's
it.
like, you know, Breon, and then we had Brandon, his brother came too. So Brandon on varsity with us, so they throwing us 3 in there, and it's just like it wasn't clicking. And I think it was more just like we had talent, we didn't know how to talent mesh. I remember we won regionals, like we won the regionals, we get the sectionals. We got put out by Kenosha St. Joe's, and they hit us with like a game winner. It was just like a game winner out of a timeout, and the reason they did it is because our team wasn't in sync. Like we coming out of timeout, they didn't know the matchups, all this. So, dude, I can remember it was like a out of bounds play. They was under their own basket, and bro, they sprinted from one side of the court to the opposite corner. It was wide open, knocked it down, put us out. So, it was like it was an up and down season, man. But like I said, it was a learning experience. I can say that. It definitely was a learning experience because I think after that season, we kind of knew, all right, Jay gonna be the guy. Like Jay's the guy. Rob, you gonna get your touches. Like we know Rob.
We gotta feed you.
We gotta feed the monster.
Yeah.
So, and I think Rob, he had to get used to his sophomore year. He wasn't getting double teamed at all. Yeah. Because you got all them shooters around.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it in. He like the double team coming immediately. I ain't no shooter. Yeah. He wasn't used to it, so he's trying to force it. So I think by the end of the season, we kind of like, all right, we know how the hierarchy gonna go. Now it's just time to kind of gel more, get more into it. So
Well, that's what's up, man. So now we're gonna talk about that summer going into junior year. You still with the boys, still with the gang, with Keith, man. Speak on that, and then just speak on the expectations for Dominican junior year.
So that summer, AAU, we bring everybody back from the scholars. Me, Trail, Q-Bar, my boy V. So our whole thing is like, bro, we gotta win state, bro. Like this is getting out of hand.
Enough of this whole third place.
We gotta win state. We get down there. We end up making it to the championship. We played. I forgot what the name of the team was, but they had Ryan Talima. He ended up going to UW Green Bay.
Oh, probably was Randolph.
Randolph. Randolph. It was Randolph. They had this dude Dave Shivington. That ended up going. I went to lacrosse with him. That's a whole different story. But we get to the championship game and we blowing it. Like we get to the championship, so because we thought like we gonna be either playing Playground, Swish, Madison Sparks. Ain't nothing to make it, so we playing Randolph. We down a dub first half, bro. Yeah. Our coach, we get into the locker room. Keith laid back. Yeah. He don't come in there and say much. My dad don't come in there and say much. We had another coach, Mr. Randolph. Mr. Randolph come in there on our ass, bro. Yeah. He come in the locker room cussing us out. I'm playing soft. We didn't get this far. This, that, and the third. So we like, all right. We get out. We like, we ready to play. Shout out to my boy V. My boy V just gave us the boost. He came off the bench for us. He went to Whitefish Bay. Came off the bench, man. Smash. Boom. Caught 2 dunks, 2 bodies. Yeah. He catch the 2 bodies, one on Talima, one on Shivington. And now we roll.
Yeah, roll.
We like, all right. So we get down. We cut the game down to like 3. Yeah, we cut it to 3. Yeah. Our ball is probably like 10 seconds left. We get it. I penetrate. Kick it to my boy Trail. My boy Trail hit the game time 3. Once we got in overtime, it's like, bro, it's a wrap. We gonna beat them. Like they deflated. Yeah. Get it to overtime, smack them. So we end up winning that.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So it was like that was like
finally, bro.
Yeah, especially like for Keith, we wanted to win it for Keith so bad because Keith was like, what I said, Keith stick with his players, bro. Yeah, like it was plenty times where people was trying to get me to go to different teams. Like, man, go to DTA, go to Playground. Playground was like, Playground wanted to have us as a B team. Like, you be our B team. But Keith was like, if I can't take all my players, I'm not doing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was bench players that he would have had to get rid of. He was like, I'm not doing it unless I can take everybody. Yeah. So it was really just happy for Keith because, like, all the work he put in, how good of a coach he is. So that was dope. And then from there, we was off to the races. So we went to Kentucky Hoop Fest. We went to Nationals, did good in Nationals.
That's what's up.
It was top 20 in Nationals again. Went to Kentucky Hoop Fest. Kentucky Hoop Fest, we was all getting off. Like, I was getting off. Q-Bar was, like, on a different level. Yeah. Like, I tell people all the time, I was like, Q-Bar should have went somewhere else in high school because they had him playing the post. Yeah. You put that boy on the wing, and Q was like, Q probably averaged a dub, like, easily a dub when we was out in Kentucky, and we finished. Yeah, top. We was a Sweet 16, so yeah, finished top 16 teams. But Q was on fire, bro.
Man,
like,
I gotta clip this up and send it to him, bro.
yeah, that was the thing with Q. Q was a hothead though, so Q would be like, I had to keep Q down. It was fun playing with Q, but I had to be like, Q, all right, bro, like chill, like you ain't gotta fight somebody every time they foul you. Like just play, like kill him with your game. But Q would get me revved up. He's the only reason I got one technical when I was like in grade school, high school, was because of Q. Like we too hype on the court, chest bumping. Hey, tee me up quick. But no, we went to Kentucky, we balled out.
Yeah.
Then we went to I think we went to it was another tournament in I want to say Ohio. Balled out there. We was playing all Ohio Red. Balled out against them. So we was doing our thing that summer, man. I cannot complain. That's when we actually started getting looks. That was the crazy part about it. Yeah, like I came back that summer. I got back to Dominican. I was getting a couple of recruiting letters. So I'm like, oh, this is dope.
Okay. What was the first one you remember?
The one who was on me actually the hardest was Northern Iowa. I didn't even know they was Division I. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know much about, like I said, about basketball, recruiting, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember after our freshman year, to go back a little bit, Jay was getting recruited. So he was getting letters from like Wisconsin, Marquette.
Yeah.
I remember Breon went to his mailbox and it was like,
plenty
bro,
of.
you going to Kansas? like he got Kansas, he had Iowa, he had all the Big 12 schools. I'm like, yeah, Breon gonna go.
Yeah.
But I got my letter from, I think I got a letter from Utah and I got one from Northern Iowa. And Utah I think was kind of like a gift because I knew one of the assistants.
Yeah.
Like, the assistant coach there was my aunt's brother.
Okay.
So I think he was kind of just like, get his
trying
confidence
to
up.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was I came back to Dominican. My confidence at that point was through the roof. Like I was like, all right, I know I'm gonna be starting this next year.
For sure.
My junior year.
For sure.
And I just like, and I'm gonna be ready. I feel like we got a chance.
Yeah.
We want to win state. Like, don't nobody think we can win it, but I felt like we can win it.
Yeah. Now in terms of your game, bro, was you dunking at that time too?
Nah, bro, I was a late bloomer. Like, and this what I will say for any like young kids now. I see like, you know, everything now, like they be working out with trainers and stuff.
Yeah.
Just getting the gym on your own and getting the weight room.
Right.
Because most of the time I was playing, while I was so good at being a point guard, I just played basketball, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't really working on my game. I work on my handles because I can go down in the basement, dribble. I can go outside and dribble. But as far as like really working on my shot or working on my body, I mean, I would do stuff, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I'd get up do 200 toe raises. I'd do push-ups. I had a little weight set in my room, but I wasn't really like knowing how to actually get better, get more, putting in the time to be more physical or putting in the time to be like, all right, this is what you really need to work on to get your game to the next level. So I wasn't dunking, but you know, I was fast. I knew how to, you know, I was quick. It was just like, if you put somebody on me and they pressure me, I'm gonna break them down. Like, best believe they
have them on skate.
They're gonna be at the top of the key when I'm done with it.
Yeah. Okay. So junior year starts, bro. Season starts. When did you know you was gonna be that starter for sure?
I knew coming into the season I was starting.
So first practice, the ball just immediately got to you, man.
First practice. So like I said, sophomore year I had a good year. I'm coming off the bench doing my thing, and the crazy about kind of go back a little bit again, Breon ended up transferring out. So he leave. Him and Wally got into it. His dad went with it. So he leave. I know Mondale gone. So like Mondale was a senior. That's a spot that's open. We had 2 seniors leave. So it was like we need a big. We didn't know we're going to need another guard. So I already knew like I'm in the starting lineup. I can hold my own as far as guarding in high school. In high school I can guard the 1 through 4 basically. As long as we ain't playing like, as long as they 4 ain't Division I, I can guard the 4. So yeah, I was like coming into it. I knew I'm starting. Then we got Ben Haley. So Ben transferred from Brown Deer. So when I said like when we played Brown Deer that first game my freshman year, he was on JV. He gave us 30. You know what I'm saying? So we get Ben. I'm like, all right, Ben know how to play. It's kind of, we got the talent. We just got to make sure we get everything in line. So my junior year, I already knew like I'm gonna be running the point. Matt was still there. I'm like, we gonna share the duties. But I always thought like Matt was better off the ball because he could shoot. Like Matt can shoot. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a better shooter than me. I'll give him that. But I know how to run a team. Can't nobody run a team better than me.
Yeah. So the season gets to start, man, and y'all having some success. Just speak on how it was going.
So the season starts. We having success. So we know we good, but we still gotta find we ain't clicking. So we got the like a little Christmas tournament. We play our non-conference. We played Catholic Memorial. Catholic Memorial, we beat them the year before at our crib. And basically they had all. Let's see, my junior year, so everybody on their starting five was seniors. They had 4 seniors that played together since they was freshmen. Yeah. And then it was like, all right, so we at their place. They really like, all right, we about to
bust their ass.
They did that. We go to their place. They tap us. I'm like, fuck, like, man, we trying to get it together. So we like, all right, they a good team though. Coach, I remember Wally was on me and Jay. He like, man, y'all didn't control the guards or whatever. I'm like, bro, and this was our thing. Like me and Jay look at the guards. I'm like, all right, your man averaged 15. My man averaged 12. Yeah. Your dude can't have more than 8. Mine can't have more than 6. Yeah. That's how we going into the game. Yeah. So I remember like they guards they didn't have their average. So I'm like, bro, they just was a better team. Like, they was more cohesive. So they beat us. We still kind of going at it in practice, trying to because now being there, we trying to get the things right with Ben and Rob. So we play a Christmas tournament. We always played. It was Pius. So we beat Pius, and we played Milwaukee Luther. They got D. Hank. Yeah. They had Alex Davis at the time. So we played them, and we come into the game. We think we about to smash them. Like Jay know D. Hank. I know him for playing DW Wildcats. So we like, man, D. Hank ain't gonna kill us. Like, it's like, well, coach gassed them, and that's what you hate when like your coach gassed the other guard. He's like, they got a freshman guard, he can shoot. We like, man, we can play with D. Hank like he good, but you making it seem like he gonna be out here like LeBron or something. So, but we played him. Alex Davis always gave us problems. He killed us. D. Hank came in and killed us. At like 15, like 5 threes. Yeah. So we couldn't say nothing. Coach came back in, was like, y'all talking all this. I was like, man, you right.
That sound like dude.
You right.
That sound like dude.
So that was kind of the turning point though when we lost to them, because our thing was with Dominican, they was always, I think even with Wallachon, they was always more talented. Like when he had Ray T, Derek Wimmer, Markel, all them. These was dudes 6. I mean, I remember our starting five my freshman year. Them dudes was like 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", 6 foot. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a big lineup for high school. So our thing was we weren't rebounding. That used to kill us. Like we was giving up rebounds. And I never forget. I feel like this was the turning point in our season. Rob and Wally got into it in the locker room. Like Rob, like, man, this ain't my fault all the time. This, that, and the third. He was ready to walk out. And, we calm. He's like, Rob, calm down, bro. We got you. Like, come on, we gonna get through this. Yeah. So we get through that practice, or that game. Then we get through, come to practice. And Wally had on Wally was coming there with his windbreaker. He coming there with the sheet, right? Yeah. And he take off his shirt and he got a T-shirt on and he wrote "box out" on the front and the back of it. And that's all we did all practice. Just rebounding drills. So we did like our little dribble shoot. The rest of practice was rebounding, toughness. And I think it started to get us going. Like, all right, everybody kind of know their role now. I'm telling Rob, if I throw it to you in the post, I'm cutting. Like, I ain't going to sit out here on the outside of a cut. Yeah. If you get me on the cut, cool. If it come back around to me, bro, I'm going to get it back into you. Yeah. JR, bro, you got to move. You got to get off it sometimes. Ben, you got to be able to shoot it because you got to open it up for Rob. Right. When you trailing on the 3, if I kick it to you and they ain't up there, that's all you. Yeah. So we kind of knew our roles. And it was like, Matt, it's a close game. You can hit the 3. You are a free throw shooter. We know you go to the free throw line, you 80%. I ain't 80%, I'm going to put the ball in your hand. Yeah. So we kind of got clicking, and once we got clicking, man, it was a wrap.
Yeah, it was. I can see that. I can see that, man.
Start running them off.
Now I need you to tap into, like, the run, bro. So from regionals to sections to state, man, how did that go?
Man, it was a crazy run. So regionals we always smacking. We know we're gonna get to regionals. Sectionals, it was a little different because I think that year we played Oostburg was who we had to play.
They always tough.
Yeah, and that was the team that put us out my freshman year. Okay. We were supposed to win it all. Oostburg ended up beating us in sectionals. So we playing them again, go downstate. And like I said, I played my role, defense, it's a close game. It get down to like, final seconds. Oostburg got the ball. Jay got the man at the top. I'm on the wing. Boom, boom. His man tried to hit him with a move.
Yeah.
Jay cut him off. He tried to kick it. I steal it.
Yeah.
Layup, put us up 2. We end up winning the game. So the whole sectional run, it was just like we was clicking on defense. Like defense, it was like you're not gonna be able to, you're not gonna be able to outscore us. Like that, you ain't gonna be able to, like, if your man, if y'all main dude is averaging 20, 25, that's not happening.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably maybe have 12 or 15.
Yeah.
And then we running. We had Jay was having a big game in sectionals. Rob was doing what he was supposed to do. We was just clicking, man. It was just like, all right, I'm on defense. I can tell JR, like, no, I got him. Like, we need you on offense, bro. Like,
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
when you can do that, where he's like, because he a Division I guard, and Jay took pride in, like, I'm gonna guard the other team's best player. But I used to have to tell him, like, bro, I'm not gonna let him score. And once you build that trust, he like, all right, I know I can put Brandon over there, and then like, just give us all you got on offense, and I'll lock this up. So we like I said, we beat Oostburg in sectionals. We get downstate, and shout out to Rob Perry, man. He put us on his back. We don't win state without Rob Perry, and I tell people that all the time. If it's a picture out there after we won it, I jump on Rob back. I'm like, bro, you carried us. Like, we go downstate. I forgot who we played the first game. Who was it? I want to say it might have been, was it Cuba City? It was somebody. It was somebody. We played them, and Jay was awful. I was awful. I mean, we couldn't hit the side of the barn. We was shooting. We couldn't hit none. And I think first game downstate, Rob had like 25 and 12. He killed him and Ben. Like, him and Ben carried us downstate. And I think in the championship game we played Michicot. They had like a decent big. I think they big ended up going to point.
Okay.
Downstate, Rob he was just amazing, bro. Like, when I say, the 15-footer in the post, passing it was just like that. It was like a point forward at that point. I didn't know what it was, but it was a point forward because they didn't have a big that can stay in front of him. You put a little man on him, he in the post. He was making all the right passes, and I think it was just like, it was that time for him to show, like, I'm that senior leader.
Yeah, because he is senior, man. This is his last hurrah, so I get it, man. Y'all end up winning that gold ball, bro. Just speak on how happy y'all was to finally gel and mesh and accomplish the championship, man.
We was geek.
Yeah, man. You had to be.
We was geek. We on campus. You couldn't tell us nothing when we got to school.
I'm already knowing, man.
Everybody was so cool at that point. You know what I'm saying? I can't forget about my boy Spencer. My boy Spencer.
Shout out.
Spencer, he had the flamethrower.
Yeah.
But man, we was geek. We won it. I can remember being on the bench during like the final minutes. It was a close game, but it ain't. You know how it's close, but it's like, man, it was only like 3 minutes. We should be able to pull it out. And Coach Mac trying to get me back in the game. He like, B, come on. I'm like, nah, Coach Mac, they get it. They got it. Like, let the seniors finish on the floor, bro. Like, I understand. Like, if you a senior, this is gonna be your last time to play. So, but no, it was cool. We go back to school. You know how that is. We loving it. We going to like all the other games. Now when we going out, other teams kind of, or other, fans recognizing us, like, oh, y'all go to Dominican, don't y'all? So like, yeah. But man, it was dope. It was dope.
That's what's up. So now, man, I need you to speak on that last summer, bro. You with the Scholars, man. It's gonna be the last time to do it, man. Just speak on that summer, man.
Oh, bro. So that summer is when the politics of AAU come in, right?
No.
So you got to think. Excuse me. So you got to think. Like I said, I've been playing with the same cats.
Yeah.
Since 6th grade.
Yeah.
We get to AAU, Q Bar gone. He's trying to get offered.
Okay.
He can't afford to be paying out of pocket, Mom. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. He go play with Playground. My boy V, he was one of our best players. He go play with another AAU team. My guy Trail had stuff going on where he had like a surgery or something he had to get done. So he basically missed all AAU. So when I say, bro, we don't got none of the same players. Like when I say none of the same players, so we still going on AAU trips or whatever. So we play in the state tournament here. We don't even place in state. We still go out to Kentucky. We go to Kentucky, bro. I swear it's probably me. My boy Q Nobe, shout out to Q Nobe because he was still with us. It's probably just me and him was the only returning starters from our squad. and it was just a bunch of, like, I ain't gonna say replacement players. It was players we knew, but they were like,
they wasn't.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Not to say nothing
yeah.
against them. Like, I got love for everybody that played with us, but it wasn't nobody else that was starting on they, starting on their high school team. You know what I'm saying? Like me, Q, the rest of us was all starters. So man, we was going to Kentucky. I was, putting up decent numbers. You putting up 13, 14, but we getting smacked. Like we getting smacked. We ain't really doing much. We don't go. I think Kentucky might have been the only place we went that summer. And we played in Chicago, but it wasn't no tournaments where people could see us.
Yeah.
It was just like for us to play. It wasn't like no college coaches or nothing there. So man, that summer was rough, but what I will say, what that summer did teach me, and shout out to Wallershine, because Wallershine always gave us access to the gym.
Yeah.
When everybody else was going to big time in Vegas, going to all these tournaments, bro, I was in the gym. And that's when I really started, like, I'm lifting.
Yeah.
I'm not just in there, I'm lifting, I'm working on my game, I'm working on my shot.
Yeah.
So, like you said back earlier, when I didn't start dunking consistently to my senior year. Like, my senior year, I'm dunking, and I'm young for my grade. So I was born in August, so I just missed the cutoff. So I started, just working out, bro, in there lifting, squatting, working on my handle, working on my jump shot, working on my free throws. And I think that was the best thing that could have happened for me, because while I didn't get to showcase my talent as much on the AAU circuit, it really helped me, like, hone my game. Like, all right, I know this upcoming year we losing Rob. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to step up scoring. Like, there got to be another option. So, I really just honed my game that whole summer, man. I was in the gym. I'm talking about I'm running from Dominican to the lake. I'm running the hills. I'm running back. I'm doing this all on my own, though.
Yeah.
And then when Jay come back, I'm doing it with him, and I'm asking him, like, bro, how did Vegas go? Like, who's looking at you and all that stuff. So it was pretty much just, working on my game. It was like, it was sad to me from the AAU standpoint that, like, man, Keith helped out a lot of y'all as players, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do that,
and y'all jumped ship on him. You know what I'm saying? And I know they probably, some of them look back at it like, man, I shouldn't have did that. I should have stayed where I was at. Because it didn't work out in your favor anyway, going to a different squad. But I'm like, bro, just as how good Keith was, the players, man, Keith was paying out of pocket. Man, doing all types of stuff that players don't even know. I know because my dad was cool. So I'm like, it was just like, man, y'all could have showed a little bit more loyalty to Keith, man. Because Keith he was loyal to y'all more than y'all know.
I hear you, man. So now the season starts. Last year, bro, y'all done won the shit before, so I already know the expectations is to repeat. Y'all bringing back plenty of people, but then y'all got an incoming freshman in Kwame. You know what I'm saying? Who get thrown into the mix? My man looked like a senior as a freshman.
Hey, say it again.
Man, grown man as a freshman.
For
so
real.
Just speak on that, bro. The expectations you have for the team.
So like you said, our whole thing that next year was like, we Division III, so everybody like, man, they won it because they Division III, they ain't played nobody. So we tell them, Wallershine that summer, schedule everybody. We want to see everybody. I don't care who they is. We want everybody. So, we got Madison Memorial. We got Racine St. Catherine's. We want to play everybody. He put us in at that point, we were still playing in like the Milwaukee Lutheran and Wisconsin Lutheran Summer League. He put us in the City Summer League, so we playing the City team. We like, nah, they think it's sweet. So, coming in, I got a huge chip on my shoulder. Like I told you, Northern Iowa was the only school recruiting me. It's crazy how stuff worked. So, like I said, I wasn't nowhere on the circuit my last year. Bro, they sent me a recruiting letter saying we no longer recruiting you. Guess when they send it, bro?
Let me know.
My birthday.
Oh, come on, man.
Bro, I go to the mail.
Come on, man.
Bro, so this before the season started. This in August. I go to the mail. I'm like, man, they sent me something. They ain't sent me nothing in a while. Rip that joint open. It's like, we no longer recruiting you.
I ain't never even heard of that before.
Bro, that's what I said. I'm like, I didn't know. I just thought they'd be like, all right, what's the name? But they was like, we no longer recruiting you. Filled your spot. I'm like, all right, this is crazy. So now I'm like, going into the season,
that's
I'm thinking,
extra.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, all right, if I can still get that if they ain't filled that spot, but they didn't fill it. So now I'm like, I got to try to get some type of scholarship, like hopefully. So I'm telling like, all right, let me average like 12, 6 assists. I could probably get a scholarship. So, but going in, like you said, we know we got me, Jay, Ben, my guy Ben Wolf. So basically, everybody on the team at that point was freshmen seniors, and probably had like 1 or 2 juniors, and then Kwame.
Yeah.
So I had seen Kwame that summer
Yeah.
play, and I was like, little dude cold, like little
Yeah.
dude got some game,
Yeah.
but I didn't like really know how old he was. I just
Yeah.
remember like little dude got some game, so
Yeah.
I seen him, and you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to open gym, like we playing the senior, so I'm like, all right, I'm saying he's smashing on all the freshmen.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me
Yeah.
see what he really about.
Yeah.
So I guard him. It was like me and Ben was on the team,
Yeah.
and then he was on the team with like a couple of the seniors. And when I say, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
he was killing me.
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
I ain't, I'm giving him everything. I'm giving him the looks like, all right,
Yeah.
shoot it.
Yeah.
He when he hitting his jump shot, I didn't know you could do it. If he hitting the jumper, I'm trying to get physical with him. He taking the physicality. I'm like, nah, little bro, nice.
Yeah.
So coming into the season, it was supposed to be the starting five was gonna be me, Jay, Ben Haley. We had this dude Ben Wolf, and this other dude Scott. And Scott went to grade school with me, so Scott was on like my grade school team.
Yeah.
Scott ended up breaking his foot, so he missed like it was a wrap for him. He was missing basically almost the whole season. So we was gonna throw my boy Deuce in there.
Shout out to Deuce.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Deuce.
Yeah,
We was gonna throw my boy Deuce in there because
Yeah.
Deuce like lived like a block away from me and Jay too. So we hooping with Deuce during the summer.
Yeah.
So I remember Wallace Shine and McGivern came up to us like, man, if you think we should give it to Kwame? And I was like, yeah, I think we should, but I was like, let's give a senior a shot at least. Like, you gotta get a senior to see how it go. So me and Jay were like, let's get a senior a shot. First game, we go out to like Waupun or somewhere out there.
Yeah.
We lining up. They like, it's gonna be a long life for us.
Yeah.
30 ball them.
Yeah.
But my boy Deuce, he had a donut.
Oh.
He had a donut.
Yeah.
I said, Deuce. And Kwame came off the bench killing. So
Yeah.
at that point, we was like,
you got it.
Yeah, coach, we was like, coach, you got to put him in. Like, it is what it is. But what I can say about Kwame, man, what I loved about him, is he was so humble. Like, he didn't come in with no ego. He didn't come in like, oh, I'm the man or whatever. Because we had other recruits come in the year before like that. Like, you know how some dudes come around, oh, I'm going to be starting varsity as a first. Like, bro, you don't even know, like, how stuff work, bro. Like, so, but he came in so humble. And I think it was what we needed, too. It kind of like, I was super serious. Like, I'm a vocal leader. So on the court, I'm going to be vocal. Like, hey, get here. Jay super serious. He going to lead by how he worked.
Yeah.
Ben kind of gave us our swag. Like, man, I'm going to get on the break. I'm going to dunk. He was the swag dude. Kwame kind of eased us because he was so silly. He's a freshman. He didn't really know no better.
Yeah.
He playing, and like, Kwame to be in practice and be doing 360 reverse layups. He be like, bro, what do you make you think trying that as a freshman? You think it's okay, but he kind of like put us at ease. So, but no, we went in that year, and we had Madison Memorial in Madison.
That's big time, bro.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So we get them, and they got West.
Yeah.
They got Nankiville, who ended up going to the Badgers. They got Corey Vernon, who went to Whitewater. They had a couple other players, I think, went D2 or whatever. But we get them, and that's like, we got them in Madison.
Yeah.
So we like, all right, this is what we've been asking for.
Yeah.
First play of the game, we come out, turn it over, bro. I'll never forget, we turned it over. They had I think a dude, his name was Dan Brown. He was like a white dude. He had bunnies, though.
Yeah.
Could jump out of the gym, but you could tell, like, that was the good thing about us. We knew our pecking order.
Yeah.
So Jay, Ben, me, sometimes Kwame before me if he hot. And then that's how I went. Madison Memorial didn't know they pecking order.
Yeah.
So they get it on break. I know the Dan. I'm back. It's Dan Brown and West. So I'm like, they about one of them want to dunk this.
Yeah.
Joke. But I know the Dan Brown dude, like, he really think he as good as West.
Yeah.
So they passing it back and forth. And when he should have threw the lob, he tried to throw it back to a regular pass back to West, so West could throw the lob to him. We turned it up. I steal it. Boom. Come down.
Yeah.
Get a layup. Ben get the dunk. All right, we in here. Now we
That's
here.
big time.
Yeah, so now we here. We end up beating them.
Yeah.
I had like 11 and 5.
That's solid.
Yeah, I ended up fouling out the game, but it was a big time game. Ben, and I tell anybody that, Ben was our most skilled player.
I can see that.
He was our most skilled player. Ben had 36.
Mm.
Jay had like 28. So you know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
Like,
big time against them boys, man.
so we did that. We, got them off the plate.
Yeah.
So then we, I think we had Racine St. Catherine's
Yeah.
in the MLK Day holiday tournament. So that used to be at the Bradley Center back in the day. So we played them, and that was a close game. I had a good game that game. I remember I made the paper that game. I was on the front page of the Wilson. I had a good game. We ended up beating them by like 2. So once we beat them,
y'all beat the state champions.
yeah, we like, and at that time we don't know that they're gonna be state champions, but we like, yeah, these was the teams y'all talking about. They ranked ahead of us and all that, and we just started running them off, bro. Like, you know, conference was conference. We gonna smack.
Yeah.
I got to give it to Brown Deer.
I was gonna bring that up, bro. So look, I got to butt in, bro. The game I came to see y'all that made the decision clear for me. It was 2 things. I went to a practice as an 8th grader, and I met some of y'all. I'm like, man, they cool as hell. Like I met Ben, came up to me, shook my hand. We talked for a little bit. Jay and all them. I'm like, man, they cool. So I see y'all in action versus Brown Deer. I'm like, I'm sold after that, man. I'm sold after that, man. Just speak on that game at Dominican, bro.
Man, shout out to Brown Deer. I got to give them their credit.
Yeah.
But they just weren't seeing us, man. So just kind of take it back a little bit. Like I said, Ben transferred.
Yeah.
So it's already the built-in, like, oh, y'all think y'all going to be. Y'all took Ben, wanted to go over there or whatever. So it's like, all right. So we played them. They played us tough. We played them. At first, we played them at Brown Deer. At Brown Deer, we beat them by 2. Jay hit game winner. Yeah. So we like, I'm like, hold your hand up. We walking up the court, hold your hand up. They ain't messing with you.
Yeah.
So then we play them at the crib. Now you got to think, we done ran them off. We've been running them off. We like, man, all we got to do is beat Brown Deer. We probably good for undefeated regular season. Yeah. Man, they come out there, and they got the game plan on lock. They got Jay frazzled, Ben frazzled. The only thing they didn't expect, we got a little freshman, man. Man. That little freshman, Kwame, he led us in scoring that game. Yeah, so I'm like, I remember going into halftime, we down. 4th quarter, we down, I think it's like, we down 12 for like 3 minutes, maybe 2:30 to go.
Tight,
it was tight. I'm like, and I remember, but what I always remember, because from my AAU days, my AAU team was always the underdog. Like I told you, we played Randolph. We was down 20 at half. So I'm like, bro, we can still win the game. I'm like, just keep playing. They gonna let up. They gonna let up. And I just remember, like, a sequence of things happened. Shout out to my boy Z.
Yeah, shout out to him too, man.
Shout out Z.
He went off the glass.
I was like, I gotta give him his props. So I remember Z got in the game, and Z had quit that year. A lot of people don't know that. Z had quit. Yeah, we had practice or something. He was mad because he wasn't starting. Yeah. We was like, bro, you lazy. Like, you know, we gonna keep it 100. Like, bro, you lazy. Like, Ben Wolf do what he's supposed to do. You lazy. Yeah. And he like, all right, but he was like, but he played me during the good teams, and we play the bad teams. I don't get no clock. So he ended up quitting. It was a whole practice. We're like, and shout out to Wally. That's why I say your coaches matter, man. Because it was a whole practice where we was running until he came to practice. Like, we running laps, and we like, coach, he not coming, he quit. He said, I don't care, y'all got to get him here. So we calling him on the cell, like, bro, you got to come to practice, bro. we running till you get here. He come to practice, right? Wally like, all right, come down here. He like, for what? Like, you about to run. He like, bro, I'm not running. He like, Wally, you get out the gym then. So we all stood up for him, like, coach, you can't just do that. And that's why I said, to Wally credit, Wally was like, he kept him on the team, he talked to him. But going to that game, he put in Z. Z come in. I'm telling Jay, because they laying off Jay. And Jay used to tell us, he used to tell certain people on the team, like, bro, I ain't kicking it out to you. Like, I'm just going to force it up. So I'm telling Jay, I'm like, bro, kick it. Like, you ain't hitting, kick it. He kick it to Z. Z hit a 3. Oh, okay. All right, we got a little bit of momentum. They come back down. Brown Deer, they basically run the same set. They run the secondary. He gets the steal at the top, get a layup. Like, all right, they call a quick timeout. We come back down, get a stop. He come down, he hit the bank 3. So I was like, oh, we back in the game now. We back in the game. So I remember Jay went to the line. Now I remember they had an out of bounds play. I stole the ball out of bounds. I'm on the ball. He throw it off the side of the backboard. I grab it, boom, hit Kwame layup. So I'm like, all right, we in here. They foul Jay. Jay make the first. Missed the second, Ben get the tip in. And then I think Ben ended up hitting like the 3 to put us up. We ended up beating them in regulation. We was down 12 points with 2 minutes to go, ended up beating them in regulation. I remember everybody stormed the court. It was like it was cracking. So after that, we knew like, all right, bro, like we just gotta take care of business the rest of the year. And the crazy part about it is we almost lost the next game to St. Francis. Like we go
Jason
play.
Jensen.
Hey, Jensen was he wasn't even like killing us. It was just he had a little bit of help that game.
Yeah.
Like I remember it was my worst game of the season.
Yeah.
It's some off the court stuff.
Yeah.
That, you know, probably I shouldn't been doing certain stuff.
Right.
You know, with girls and stuff.
Yeah. You know how that goes.
Frazzled. Yeah. Had me a little frazzled for a second. But I had my worst game of the season.
Yeah.
And we ended up only beating them at St. Francis by like 3. But after we beat them, we kind of got back on track. But then after that, we was like, bro, ain't nobody. We get downstate, it's nobody. Like I think we played Cuba City to go upstate.
Yeah.
Like I don't even remember. We played Cuba City. We played Cuba City, and we played North Fond du Lac because this when lacrosse started recruiting me. So at the time, I still ain't really got no offers. But we played North Fond du Lac, and it was the noise like from the writers, like North Fond du Lac has the guards to compete. We were like, man. And we ranked 25th in the nation at this point. I'm like, bro, we got in our head, we got the best player in the state. We got JR.
Yeah.
I'm the most underrated guard in the state. We got Ben. Ain't nobody seeing us.
Yeah.
So we played North Fond du Lac or whatever in sectionals, smack them. Like, and I have a good game. I had like 15 and 8.
Yeah.
I'm willing and dealing.
Yeah.
We all in the crowd. So I remember that's when lacrosse, they was coming to look at one of the guards from North Fond du Lac. And my coach was like, Wally was like, man, I got a guard. He's not getting recruited the way he should be recruited. Like, he should be at least Division II.
Yeah.
But nobody really knows him. So at that game, I go all out. And that's when lacrosse started calling.
Yeah, on the radar, okay.
Yeah, so we go upstate, man. That's where upstate was just like, we just killed, bro. We knew we was like, we played. No, I think we played Cuba City upstate that year. We was like, we're gonna beat Cuba City, and then it was Grantsburg or Roncalli or something.
Yeah, I think it was Grantsburg.
Yeah, it was Grantsburg, but we knew like we saw Grantsburg play because they played after us, and the team they played was like, you know what I'm saying? The team was pressuring them, they was turning it over. I was like, we know they pressuring like ours. So as soon as we played Grantsburg, bro, we knew it was like, we about to blow them out. And it was pretty much a blowout. It ended up being like a 12-point game, but we was up as much as 24, 25. Right. So it was a wrap.
So y'all two-peat, man. Y'all get that second championship, bro. Describe the feelings, man. Back to back, and you go out on top.
Yeah, it was vindication, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was like, you know, everybody. It was vindication for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because Ben, even how cold Ben wasn't getting recruited the way he should have. You know what I'm saying? He getting partials from Division Ones. He getting, he getting Division Two. I'm like, Ben's a D1 player, man.
Yeah.
Anybody that sees him play knows it. JR is like, he going to Loyola, but he should be going somewhere bigger.
Yeah.
And it was like, we just felt he wasn't getting his just due. I'm like, bro, he been on the 4-year varsity player. Y'all putting, and shout out to, our class was tough. Now, I ain't gonna act like we had Marcus Landry, Wes, Rick Frank. So, but we like, man, Jay the best. Like, that's how we feel. Jay the best player in the state, and he done proved it. We done beat all these other teams. Racine St. Catherine's ended up winning it. We beat them. Madison Memorial ended up winning Division I. We beat them. It's like, it should be no. So it was like vindication. Like, y'all can't say it was like, they was only playing these teams. Like, no, all the teams we beat end up being champions. I mean, we was, like I said, we finished that year 25th in the country, third team in the Midwest. I think the only teams ahead of us in the Midwest was like Lawrence North. They had Greg Oden and Mike Conley. I forgot who the other team was. I'm like, come on, like, we was one of the coldest teams in the nation.
Y'all went undefeated too, right?
Yeah, undefeated. I mean, no blemish. At that point, I think we had won 39 or 40 games in a row, something like that, something crazy. So I'm like, y'all give us our just due, give us our respect. Like, y'all, we might not be the household names, we ain't the biggest dudes on the circuits, but we know how to play basketball, and it is what it is. If you put anybody in front of us, we gonna beat them.
Yeah.
Like, no matter who they is, we just gonna keep wearing them out. We gonna beat them.
Yeah.
But it was vindication, man. It was fun. I remember after we won it, we in the hotel.
Right.
We in the jacuzzi. We kicking it. Like, we having a good time, bro. So it was up after that.
Man, how was it when y'all got back to Dominican, bro? School that Monday, bro.
Woo,
Speak on it.
Food.
Yeah.
Hey, man, like I said, Dominican's small, but it's like, it's a tight knit community. So it was love.
Yeah, yeah,
It was love. Like,
yeah.
you know, the teachers were showing love, the students, everybody was just like, man, you know, that them dudes, they done won it back to back.
Yeah.
It's getting love from everywhere. So it was, and you know, we showed the same love back. You know, we was appreciative of how, you know, the student body accepted us, how the teachers was. So it was love, man. It was crazy, you know, little parades and prep rallies and all that. Like, it was cracking.
Man, that's what's up. So now, man, had that success, and salute to you on your high school career. But now, bruh, it's time to make a decision for college, bro. So what was the move on that, man?
So college was a tough decision. So you got to think, like I said, I'm not really getting recruited like that. Now, lacrosse was on me. I will get that to lacrosse. The coach was calling. I went to visit lacrosse. I mean, I didn't even play when I went up there because I was like, man, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, it was two reasons I didn't play. I had a tattoo I ain't tell my parents about. I was like, that was so I ain't play because of that. But I was like, man, I ain't playing, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't. But so I visited lacrosse. I actually did have a full ride to an NAIA school, Harris Stowe, which is in St. Louis. It's a historical black college. I went on a visit there, but it was just like, bro, it was smaller than Dominican. Like, that's how, and that's when I opened my eyes. Like, man, when they talk about, like, you know, HBCUs being underfunded,
for sure.
I go, I'm like, man, y'all ain't got no dorms. They was like, man, we ain't got no dorms, which was cool because it was in St. Louis. But and my dad from St. Louis.
Okay.
So it was like I had family there. Like I could have just stayed with my uncles or my aunts. But I'm like, I saw the competition level. I said, nah, bro, this is. I'm like, I done played better than pickups. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, I can't really do this. But it would have been a full ride. Like I would have had to pay for nothing. But so they offered me UW lacrosse. So then it was JUCO.
Okay.
People were like Williston State, was in North Dakota. They wanted me. They coach had called me. I actually got that offer from Matt Johnson, dad.
Okay.
Put the plug in. He was like, hey, man. And at that time they had I think Matt Goodwin was up there. He was killing.
He was shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Matt. He was up there killing. So they coach was calling me trying to see, like, hey, you want to come down here? It was another JUCO in North Dakota. It was like North Dakota Science.
I know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and my homeboy, who I ended up being cool with in college, his cousin, I went there, Verser, and he was like nice. So, but my whole thing was like, now up until this point, just kind of take it back a little bit, I was the only child, all the way up to like 16. So my mom had my baby sister when I was 16 years old. So my thing was I didn't want to go too far for college now. Yeah. Like if I didn't have my sister, I probably would have went to North Dakota or Williston State. I would have went to Williston State and just did the JUCO route. But I'm like, man, I got my sister. Like, I love my sister to death, bro. Yeah. It was like my mini me. So I'm like, I can't be flying back. Nah, that ain't what's man. So when it come down to it, lacrosse coach is calling. I give it to him. He calling, but I'm like, man, I do not. I didn't visit it. I done went on my visit. I do not like it up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you go up there. Now most of the schools I went to was predominantly black. Even Dominican had the diversity. Man, I went up there. I was like, I don't think I saw another black person on my visit. So I'm like, I really want to go up here, but it's a nice campus, good education. So I'm like, man, I don't really know. But my mom's loved it. Yeah. She loved the campus. So I'm like,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. So I remember I'm still trying to make a decision. My mom's like, you know, graduation's coming up. She's like, you need to make a decision. Like, so she was like, I remember to this day, she was like, the next coach that called, that's what school you going to. Yeah. Low key, I think she knew lacrosse coach was calling. Low key.
Mom like, set up the play, man.
So I remember he called, and she was like, who is that? I'm like, that's coach from lacrosse. She was like, tell him you going. I was like, all right, yeah, coach, I'm going to lacrosse. So he was excited, but yeah, I ended up going to lacrosse. At the time, man, I could just say like, it was a eye-opening experience. Like, it's a beautiful campus, but what I will say is it's like when I got there and you really got to be on your own. Oh yeah. It was different. Yeah.
Did you have a roommate or you was dolo?
Bro, I had 3 roommates. Freshman year, 3 roommates.
You was in the house or the dorms?
I was in the dorms, bro. I'm in the freshman dorms with 3 roommates. So remember I told you Dave Shivington, they played on Randolph. He was one of my roommates. So him. My guy, these two dudes, AJ and Matt. Shout out to AJ and Matt. I'm still cool with them to this day. Like I just saw them last summer kicking it or whatever with my wife. I bumped into them and they wives.
Yeah.
But I'm in a 4-person dorm when I get up there, right? So I know I'm going. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to play. That whole summer leading up, I'm just working out. Wally still let me come to the gym. I'm working out. I'm hitting the weights. I kind of know what I'm doing. I get up there, and it's like, they was horrible before I got there.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to say like they didn't have talent. They was just horrible. I don't think they had like, they weren't used to winning. The coach up there, Coach Cable, I think that was only his 2nd or 3rd year as a head coach. But they had they had my boy Marcus who went to Vincent, Marcus Canigliaro. They had Luke Holman, God rest his soul. Chris Fehrenbach, who went to Catholic Memorial,
shout out to
smacked
him.
us. Chris. So we had like a nice team. We had this dude Joe Warner. He ended up playing professional for like 12 years. Big dude, man, 6'8", 250, run faster than me, man. Like, I was just a straight athlete. But he had all these players the year before. Before I got there, he had all these players. I think they won 8 games. So I'm like, I'm coming there. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to start, but I got a chance.
Yeah.
Because Marcus Canigliaro played with like GB and them, but I didn't never see, like I said, I never seen him play because I didn't really watch high school basketball like that. But I'm like, man, if he went to Vincent and he was getting time, it looks like he was getting time. He was averaging like 10 on that team, so he got to be straight. So I get to campus, and like I said, I got the 3 roommates, and I'm just focused on ball and school, bro. It's so eye-opening because literally I can walk out, be out the whole day, and not see another black person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And it's different because, I mean, when I was in grade school, when I went to like a predominantly white school that last year, that's still different because I'm going back to the crib. You know,
like still, people,
Bro, I'm 3.5 hours away. I'm like,
lacrosse and track. Bro.
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm like, all right. So the year started out. Shout out to we did have a strength and conditioning coach. He was a black dude. His name was he was like a foreigner. His name was Yao.
Okay.
And shout out to him because he kind of unlocked like my athleticism because once he came there, bro,
that's when you really
like he got my foot right. Like, bro, he was like, you athletic, you just ain't like your function, you ain't jumping the right way and stuff like that. Like little stuff that I never knew. But once he fixed it, like, bro, you gotta jump this way, jump that way, like plant like this, plant like that. Don't let your knees go in. So once he fixed that, bro, I'm like, I'm on break, throwing it in. Like, all right, it's gonna get easy. So during the whole little thing, I'm just going to class, going to the workouts. I'm killing the workouts. I didn't know that they wouldn't even expect for me to play my first year. They was gonna redshirt me. They was like, yeah, he's skinny. They had another kid up there. Shout out to him, TJ. He was like the lacrosse Tribune Player of the Year.
Okay.
So he from the area. He averaged like a dub. So I'm like, man, like all these players, you look in the thing like all these dudes was averaging dubs in high school. I'm like, bro, I averaged like 11. So I'm thinking like, is they really cold or maybe they just up here? But once we get to start doing them open gyms, you got the returners on one court, the freshmen or the people who was on the bench on the next court. And I'm like, once you win, you go to that first court. I was on that first court every time. I'm like, bro, once I win this game, I'm on the first court, and I'm getting busy. So you got to think, I'm always a team player, so I make sure, like, when I was at Dominican, I played my role. Now I get to carve out my role of how I see it. So I'm like, man, I'm getting buckets. If something, they're going to have to stop me. I'm playing all types of different ways. So I'm like, oh, Brandon, he really getting it. So they go to the coach. The coach got his captains, and he would ask the captains, like, after the open gyms, like, who's standing out? And shout out to my boy Chris Ass. He was like, man, that Brown dude, he's nice. Like, his team always on the first court. And then Marcus Canigliaro, shout out to Marcus too. Marcus really helped me out. That was the only person I was kind of competing with for time, because I'm like, he the point guard, I'm gonna compete with Marcus. But then I realized, all right, Marcus got this spot. He better. And then I can do, like, I'm better defensively. I got a little bit of better handle, but Marcus know how to score. He transferred from Division I. He was at UW Milwaukee. He transferred. He know how to score. He ain't no punk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Marcus know how to play basketball. So it was kind of like that was the only thing keeping me from starting. But my freshman year, man, it was off and running. Like I was a sixth man. I was first in the team in steals. I'm coming on playing like 20 minutes a game, but
that's big time.
Yeah, I'm pressing. I'm like the press. I come in, I'm picking up full. I'm getting 2 steals off the bat, 4 points, like boom, boom, 2 layups, and then the other team called timeout, started adjusting.
Yeah.
But it was always, I never felt comfortable, bro. And this was the first thing, and that's why I tell people, like, man, when you go into college, watch who you hang out with, like watch even who you room with, and voice your opinion.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, like I said, I'm with 3 people in the dorm. I come back from a game. We had an in-city rival called Viterbo.
Yeah.
So we played Viterbo. It's usually a girl and boys game, so girls play, then boys play. So we had like the 8 o'clock game. We smacked Viterbo. Now Dave didn't make the team his freshman year. They ended up having the red shirt. So I come back to the dorm. I smell weed. Like, bro, so I come in the room. They smoking. Now I'm from the city. Going back to my uncle. My uncle was cold. He ended up doing the street stuff. So I'm used to being around weed, smoking weed. I just be like, man, you could just, I don't say nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, y'all smoking? They're like, yeah. I'm like, bro, chill out with that or whatever.
Yeah.
So they like, all right, they finish up. I go to sleep. I hear the knock. I'm like, bro. They like, campus, it's like the RA or whatever.
Yeah.
So they like, don't open the door, don't open the door. I'm like, bro, just open the door. Like, they come in here, they don't find no weed. What's the name? I don't know it's still weed in the room. I'm like, just open the door. They like, no. I'm like, all right, whatever. Y'all go open the door, cool. Cause dude, like, they got to go away. One of the other dudes was supposed to be on the team too.
Yeah.
They was just in the room smoking. He was like, no, if you don't open the door, they got to go away. So I'm like, all right. So then they come with the cops. Cops at the door. I'm like, bro, just open the door.
Open the door, yeah.
So they like, no. They have near looking back. I should just got up and opened the door myself. I'm trying to be cool. So they be like, no. So I'm like, all right. So he was like, the police got to go away. The police go away. They go get a warrant. They don't need, once they got the warrant.
Yeah, you can't do nothing about
can't do nothing. They come in there. He like, you still smell like weed. So he like, I can see it smells like weed. If it's weed in here, I'm taking all y'all to jail. I don't know it's weed in the room, bro. I'm thinking they just smoked it.
Let me ask you, B. Was it, when they left, was it like a little break where y'all could leave?
No. So
I would just dip when
I went to the door.
Yeah.
I'm looking out the people.
They was still
they still got the RA there with one of the cops. So only
smart,
one of the cops went to go get the warrant. So I'm like, bro, all right, whatever.
What level was y'all on?
We on the first floor.
I would have hopped out the window, bro.
I would have, but they had they was blowing the smoke out of the thing. So they had a cop down there too.
Okay, smart. I would have.
So the way the dorm was, it was like the first level, but it was like kind of elevated. So if I jump down, I could make the jump. Yeah. But it's like it's gonna be a fall, and they got the cop down there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Smart people.
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking, ain't no weed in the room.
Yeah, you don't know.
I'm like, all right. So they come in there, and they handcuff us or whatever. They put us down. The cop, I'll never forget this. The cop look at us. He be like, I could tell you two been smoking weed. You not so much. He pointed to me like, you don't look like you been. I ain't smoke. I ain't drink none of that. So I'm like, no, I ain't been smoking. So they searching the room. Bro, I didn't know like any little thing could be like drug paraphernalia. Yeah. Like I had a like paper towel, like the roll. Yeah. Like I had a roll of paper towels, and I put like the like I eat a Pop-Tart or something and put the napkin in there and throw it in the garbage. Bro, that's drug paraphernalia, bro. So they go in my garbage, they're like, well, we got paraphernalia. I'm like, what? So then they got us cuffed. I'm like, I just came back from the game. It's like 10 o'clock, bro. I'm like, I gotta pee, bro. Like, I got water running through my system. Yeah. They take me out there. I go pee. He like, is it weed in the room? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, I
just got home, bro. Like,
I just got to the crib. Like, you can see we just played. Yeah. So I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at Dave. Dave looked nervous. I'm like, it's weed in the room. I'm like, they still got weed in the room. He looked super nervous. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm looking at him, and he ain't saying nothing. They get the going by the vent. They hitting the vent, and he like this. I could tell he started sweating. I'm like, it's weed in the room. It's weed in that vent somewhere. So boom, grabbed the bag of weed. I'm like, he like Dave tried to fess up to it at this point. He like, oh, it's mine. He said, nope, I'm taking all y'all to jail. Put me in the back of the police car. Me and Dave in one car. Put the other dude's name was Kev. Put Kev in another car. Off to jail we go. So I'm in jail. My freshman year, probably 6-7 games into the season.
So you ain't even do. Like,
Didn't do nothing. I just didn't know if it was weed in the room. Didn't
Yeah.
say like, oh, they was smoking. I just
Yeah.
kept my mouth shut, which is like, I could have said something. I could.
But you still didn't know though. Like you ain't even know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I could have been like, yeah, they was smoking and been like, been good.
Oh man, that's
But that ain't, that ain't where we from. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's tough to
I
make.
ain't grow up like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Like, so I get there, call my moms.
Yeah.
Had to have my moms. You call the moms from jail.
Yeah.
Mom's frantic. I'm like, Mom, calm down. I got arrested. This the charge. So boom, my mom jump on the highway. It's in November because it's right before our break.
Mm-hmm.
She drive down there in a snowstorm, bro, like panicking. What's the name? She bailed me out. We tell coach. Coach already know what happened. They didn't tell the other two players.
Did they clear you though?
No. This is the crazy part about this.
Come on,
This is why, like,
man.
I'm still cool with Dave because Dave was like, man, I was immature. I was messed up.
Yeah.
But it was like, this was the crazy part about it. So I had to call my mom because I ain't got no bail money. I ain't got no credit card.
Yeah.
They bailed themselves out that night and just left me in there. I'm like, I didn't know. Like, y'all could have at least bailed me out. Y'all know I wasn't smoking. Like, bail me out. I ain't say it was weed in the room. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I spent the night in jail. My mom could get me. They had told coach. Coach was like, we had practice that next morning. Coach was like, man, just go home. Which was like, yeah, I should just be able to go home, bro. Like, you got me in a room with 4 people and this dude. So Dave ended up dropping out that year or that semester. I go home. And really at that point, bro, I was so uncomfortable. I really didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
Like after the break, they'd be like, oh, you get your little break to go home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't really want to go back. But my pops was like, man, you can go back or whatever. We gonna handle it.
Yeah.
The charges don't get dropped. Like I go in, I got to take a drug program. Like during the J term, I'm taking a drug program.
Oh, did they give you a drug test to see if you was smoking or not?
No,
That's
I'm
so
telling
crazy,
them.
bruh. They would see that you don't got weed in you, bro.
I'm telling them like I can take a drug test. What's the name? All this, and we ain't. Like, I don't come from a family of criminals, so I ain't never been in like no trouble like this. So we go there, we go to the little hearing. My dad, I'm like, not guilty. And the judge was like, when I said not guilty, he said, hey, come here.
Yeah.
He said, say you guilty or no contest. He's like, because if you say not guilty, you got to take it to trial.
Yeah.
If you take it to trial, then it's going to end up on your record permanently. So
I'm like, okay. Like,
but no, it's like, if I don't beat the case, it could be something small. Like, it was weed in the room.
Yeah.
It's your room, your name, you know what I'm saying? So he like, just plead to no contest. We put you in the program. You're going to have to do this program for like, I think it was like a month and a half. He was like, we expunge it from your record, as long as you don't get in no trouble. But I had to pay tickets. I had to pay tickets for weed I didn't have.
Nah, bro. I'm at the butt end. Nah, bro. Did you have a lawyer?
No, we ain't no lawyer.
Nah, bro. That ain't it. That ain't it. It's one thing if you put in on the weed. Bro. And you just, okay, you bought it. Yeah. But like, you ain't had nothing. Your coach ain't be like, you ain't tell him like, hey, that wasn't me.
Man, he knew it wasn't me. They already told him.
Nah, that ain't it, B. That ain't it, bro.
They already told him.
Nah.
But it was just like, I took the little class during the J term. Man, I'm in there. I'm like real life substance abuse. Like, dudes talking about how they drove off the highway, car flipped.
Yeah.
Talking about how they be like drinking mouthwash for alcohol. I'm in the class with that, bro. Like, it's crazy. So, but I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it. But these are little things that are gonna build up to the end of why I feel my situation is the way.
One more question, bro. Didn't none of them dudes say nothing for you?
Nothing. I mean, like I said, Dave, he tried to make up for it later, but I'm like, bro, I was in jail.
Damage already.
Yeah, like you could have bailed me out. You could have said something when the cops was in there, when they first asked you, when they said, we're going to take all y'all to jail if we find weed in here. You could have said something right then and there, like, bro, I got weed in here. It's my weed.
Yeah.
When he bailed me out, like y'all both bailed yourselves out, bailed each other out, then bailed me out. His mom tried to apologize and stuff.
No, I wouldn't have heard none of that shit. Like, nah,
but
bro.
this the catch, bro. So you got to think, I'm the only black person on the team. So if we start acting, you know what I'm saying? We got this nigga. You know what I'm saying? We got this dude. We don't want to portray that.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, man. Take it on the chin. This is the best I can make out of the situation right now. I got to take this little J term class. It's gonna get expunged from my record. All right, cool. So that happened, bro.
Yeah.
So that was like the first thing that kind of whistled at. So that freshman year, the freshman year was still cool though, because I had Marcus. But even the freshman year, like, I knew it was a different culture. So, you know, at Dominican, we just went 39 straight. We playing, we like, you know, non-conference, you expect to. Bro, they celebrate. We undefeated. I'm
like, what?
I'm like, we supposed to be undefeated, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But looking back at it, I understand they only won 9 games the year before. So it's just like, they glad they winning. So I'm like, all right. But our first loss, and this one I was like, man, it was just crazy as far as like the racial aspect. Our first loss. Now, I told you I'm the 6th man. I'm not the star. I'm not a starter. I'm the 6th man. I do lead us in steals. We play Whitewater. We lose to Whitewater at the crib. Front page of the paper, they got my picture with like UWL blows. I'm like, bro, come off the bench. Like, like, at first I was like geek, like, oh, I'm on the front page of the paper. Then my mom looked at it. She was like, why they put you on the front page? Like, you come off the bench. You're not the star player. Like, I'm like, yeah, good point. I ain't look at it like that, mom. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, it's the school newspaper or the Tribune. So cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, we still had a good season. I had fun. I'm like, Marcus was looking out for me. My boy Chris Ash, Joe Warner, Chris Fehrenbach, they was all cool. But I wasn't really kicking it with the team. So, like, it was just basketball class. Come back from J-term. I told you I had to take a little class for the week. I'm still, you know, going to class. But at this point, bro, I was like, once school started back up, and now I'm on campus, and people seeing me. Now, people didn't see me get arrested. So I'm like, bro, I don't even want to go outside. Bro, I wasn't going to class at all. When I say at all, bro, I'm like, shout out to my homegirl, Sarah, rest in peace, and my homegirl, Anna. They used to come and get me and make me go to class, bro. Because they knew how uncomfortable I was. They was like, Sarah, come down, like, B, come on, we got class. I was like, man, I don't want, come on, B. It's all right, I'll walk with you to class. She walked with me to class. Anna do the same thing. Like, come on, B, we got speech. All right, come on. And they was both from the area, so they could tell how uncomfortable I was. So, yeah, I was like, man, after that freshman year, like, we ended up going to the NCAA tournament. We got put out first round by, I think it was like Calvin College. But it was a fun experience. I think we came 4th in the conference that year.
That's solid.
You know, UW Whitewater was a machine. They had
Big
Rob,
and
they
all.
had Gio. They had, what was this? Manchester. He went to Racine St. Catherine's to play point guard. They had a squad. So Point always. Point had Leaf. They had a whole little. Everybody was like the same age. They ran it for the next 4 years. But we was it was cool though. Like I gotta say, Marcus was real cool. He always looked out for me. You know, because he was from the area, so when I needed rides back to the crib, he'd help me out. At the end of the freshman year, it was cool. It was still decent, but I quit going to class, and I kind of didn't want to come back. I was trying to transfer, but I couldn't find a good fit.
So sophomore year now, bro, you have the freshman year. We gonna have to agree to disagree on that weed class, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been raising hell up there, bro. I would have brought the gang up there. We would have been soon, cause that's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't saying you wrong, bro. I had to take it on the chin, bro.
I feel you. So sophomore year, it starts, and now how many did Marcus graduate, or he still had another?
Marcus gone, so we bring everybody back except 2 starters. So Marcus is gone, so that point guard slot, that's me. We had a guy named Tim Owens, who was our 4-man. That would have been Luke's spot. So I'm talking about coming in, open gyms. Let's take it back a little bit. That summer I come back, I always come back. I never, because of my sister, so I never stayed in lacrosse. I come back, I'm hooping with my friends from AAU. They like, bro, like, B jumping out the gym. Like, they saying I'm going up for layups and turning it over. And they like, man, B, they like, man, you got athletic. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, the weight room. So I'm coming back here, like, putting my work in. I'm still up at Dominican, shooting, get my work in. So I end up going back. Even the coach said, like, man, your jumper's gotten way better. Like, yo, 15, 18 footer is good. So I'm like, yeah, I've been working. So open gyms, we smashing, because Luke didn't really get along with the coach neither. Like me, Luke, kind of the kids from this area, he didn't really mesh with us great. Like, so, but I remember me and Lucas, like, we killing. Like, I'm talking about the pick and roll is unstoppable. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, if you go under it, I can hit the 18-footer.
Yeah.
If you double me, I'm kicking it back to Luke. So it was just, we was clicking. It was going to be me, Luke, Chris Fehrenbach, my boy Chris Ass, and then Joe Warner, who was like, I told you, he was just a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, preseason rolling. I don't really kick it like that. Like, I had I drunk like once or twice in my life at that point, but I ain't the rest of the team be kicking.
Oh yeah,
they be kicking.
They out here.
Except Joe. Joe
Yeah.
was the one who really didn't kick it because he was like really about his body and being in Worcester, being in good shape. But that's when, like, man, one day we had it was Oktoberfest weekend. Everybody go out, kick it. I stepped out for a second. I remember they called like a meeting. They was like, we need all the basketball players to the auditorium. So we like, what's going on? They was like, we can't find Luke. So I'm like, what you mean I can't find? Like, he was with, I saw him last night. He was with such and such.
Yeah.
And then they go through the little search. They search it. You know, it's the Mississippi River right there on, on La Crosse.
Yeah.
So right there by downtown. So they get the dogs. I remember they called us in there and they was like, yeah, the dogs carried the scent all the way to the river. So we kind of knowing at that point, like, damn, I hope he ain't fall in the river.
Yeah.
And we get the news they found the body or whatever. So that kind of like, I threw everybody off. I think if Luke there that year, we were in conference, no doubt. Because it was just like, I don't think that was the matchup that we missed when we was playing in conference because Point was the team that gave us the hardest, but because they had 4 shooters. That would have gave us, we got 4 perimeter players that can play.
Yeah, y'all could have balanced it out.
Yeah, and it was like, once that happened, that kind of threw everything off, threw up our depth. Kind of had everybody head was what's the name, but besides that, you know, I came out the gates cooking, like.
Let me butt in, bro. Speak on bro real quick, cause I heard nothing but good things about Doug, man. Luke.
Man, he was that was another thing, but him not being there, he kind of took that role that Marcus had with me. Yeah. Cause he could tell, be uncomfortable. Like I could tell.
Yeah.
So he would look out for me, you know, like, oh, come on, B, like, this is my little brother, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So Luke was just a cool human being, man. He had, sweet parents, sweet mother, and it was just like, man, it was a shock because I had saw because he was there my freshman year too. We had a whip.
Yeah.
And he didn't really play my freshman year because he was into it with the coach. So he was like, coach was like, hey, you overweight, all this stuff. So I just saw like how he worked. He worked, get his weight down. He's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to and then it was just like, man, that happens and it messed up the whole, like it messed everything up. But Luke he was a good dude and he was cold. Like, at the end of the day, he was cold. Like Luke was gone. He hit that. Him and Tony Main, the only dudes I know, they hitting it from 30 consistently. So I was like, man, Luke was a bad boy. But yeah, that year, man, we started out. I mean, we started out on the road, and we played the first road game. I had like 15-6. Like I'm here. I remember the coach he had to pull me in. He's like, man, you gotta wheel you in, man. You're taking too many shots. I'm like, hey, man, like we doing good. Like, But yeah, it was that year was a good year, man. I had my first game winner that year. Okay. We played Oshkosh, and Oshkosh always played them. They played us well. They had DJ. Shout out to DJ Mark. Yeah. I had the game winner on them at the crib. We played them at their place. I had like a great game at their place. So I'm balling. I'm averaging like 10. I'm leading the league in steals. Like it's either me or Gio. Like if Gio, I look one week, and me and Gio talk about this day. I look one week and be like, man, Gio had 6 steals. So like, man, I got this game. I got to have at least 4 to keep it, you know. So yeah, it was me and him going back and forth. But yeah, that my sophomore year, we ended up being second in the conference. Point had our number. It was just we couldn't beat Point. Point was, and our coach, that's where he came from. Okay. So I think they coach kind of knew what he wanted to do. And man, Point just had our number. They played them 4 guards, 1 big, spread it out, shoot you. They don't really run no plays. They just know how to play basketball. So that they really killed us. We ended up losing. We lost to them 3 times that year. Lost to them 3 at their place, 3 at our place. And then we played them in the championship for the conference, and they smacked us. They ended up winning like 13, 15 that game. And we didn't even make it to the tournament that year. We were second in our conference, but that year they started like only the conference champions could make it to the tournament.
Oh, okay.
So we
okay.
didn't make it to we didn't make it that year.
Okay. So now, man, shout out to Leaf, man.
Yeah, Leaf was a dog.
Now, junior year, bro, you got two years under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting to the point where, like, okay, the key is probably going to be given to me. And did Tony come in that year?
Yeah, Tony came my junior year.
So speak on that, man.
So junior year was, I'm like, I'm ready. I know it's going to be like, all right, B got to really take the reins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's me and Chris Fehrenbach still there.
Yep.
We got Tony coming in. And shout out to Tom, because Tom was so humble.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be like, Tom, in my head, I'd be like, Tom, be quiet, bro. Because he came in like, man, you know, if I just come off the bench, I'm like, off the bench.
Shut up, dude.
Shut up, dude. You just averaged 30. You had to stay scoring 2 years ago. Like, nah, bro. Like, you started. So, Tom come in. Tom cool. You know, I'm trying to make Tom feel at home. Tom had people up there. He had his cousin up there. So, he was kind of, you know, he meshed in well. But, at this point, we don't really got, our bigs ain't the same. So, we done read Joe Warner gone, Chris Ash gone. And, Chris Ash was like, a lot of people don't know him because he's from Minnesota, but he was a dog. He could go. But we got them gone. So, we were returning 3 starters, me, Fehrenbach, and this dude, Billy Kekler. But me and Fehrenbach was really like the scorers that was returning. So, then we got Tom coming in. So we start the year, you know, we working. I'm working. You know, I'm in shape. The thing is, it was a lot of minutes on my body that I didn't realize at this point. So you got to think. Yeah. We had to run at Dominican. I played a lot during my freshman year. I didn't start, but I still played a lot. I was 6th on the team in minutes. Then I'm playing all summer. My sophomore year, I'm 2nd on the team in minutes. So I'm averaging like 36 minutes a game. So it's like my body is kind of breaking down and I don't know it.
Yeah. So
coming into junior year though, off the bat, we had Lakeland. I go to Lakeland. Game winner off the bat. Boom. I'm like, I'm here. Like, this is what it is. 20 points, game winner. I'm dishing. I'm feeling myself. So I'm like, all right, once we get to clicking, we're gonna be nice. But me and the coach are not seeing eye to eye at this point. Like we really not. So he's still trying to run. And to his credit, he was a young head coach. He only been a head coach for at that point 4 years. Yeah. So he's used to running his system. But I'm like, bro, we can't run the same system. We don't have the same big man. We don't have the same wings. Yeah. Like we had Chris Ash was an athletic wing. Yeah. Box more of a shooter. Yeah. Tone more of a shooter. Like we need to be doing dribble penetration and shoot this. He's still running the same offense. So it's kind of hard. And when we get going is when you call in a 1-4 flat. So you're kind of just like letting us break our man down because you know, no offense to the bigs, but the bigs at that time should have just been setting picks, bro. Setting picks and rolling to the basket, you know what I'm saying? But so we get going. We probably like, I want to say like 6-2, 6-2, going into like a pivotal game. We got a game at home, so coach running us at practice. Yeah. Do it again. We doing 5-on-5. Do it again. Yeah. This the last drill of practice. He keep making us do it. I'm like, bro, we're not gonna get it. Like in my head, I'm like, bro, we just ain't talented like that this year. Like, last play, last drill. I'm trying to get the drill over, so I'm just forcing it to the rack each time. Yeah. I force it to the rack, step on somebody's foot, roll it, and roll it bad. When I say roll it bad, bro, roll it on the inside. Yeah. And I guess like the knee-jerk reaction of you rolling it so bad, it jerked back to the inside quick. When I said, bro, my ankle was huge. Like I thought I broke it. Like I really thought I had broke my foot. Like I broke my foot. It was the same ankle I had broke when I was a kid. Like I think I broke it. They was like, you ain't break it. You got the worst sprain you can have. Yeah, so you're gonna be out. It was like it would have been better if you broke it. Right. Because you would have been back sooner. Because you know the bone heals quicker than like the muscles and the ligaments. So man, roll that ankle. I'm out for. I think I was out for 5 games. Damn. So, and during that 5 games, we go 1-4. Damn. Like it was right around. It was we lost it. We lost the game that we had the next day. Yeah. We had a Christmas tournament, and Tone had to go crazy for us to win. He had like 30-some. We ended up winning one of those games. Yeah. Lost the rest. We played Superior. I don't know how Superior was when you was at. Wasn't that Superior was trash? Yeah. We lost to Superior.
Yeah. They had one cat who was nice. He was a junior when I was a freshman. Jake Smith.
I think I know
wanna
who
say.
you're talking about.
He was probably young.
Yeah,
he probably
was like a freshman when I was
yeah.
No, they was when I say they
Yeah,
was
they
trash,
was-
bro.
yeah.
We was 30 balls. Like every time we played them, we getting them
Yeah.
up out. Bro, they spank us at their place. So
Mm.
I'm like, bro, we lose they lost. I didn't even go to the Superior game because I couldn't travel.
Yeah, cause
So they lost to Superior. I'm looking, I'm like, they lost to Superior.
yeah.
Coach made them practice after the game. Like we got back, made them practice after drive. You know how far Superior is.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's 8 hours, bro.
Yeah. They drove back and had to practice that day. So I'm like, all right, I'm working. Shout out to the physical therapist, the trainer at that point, Dave Crew. He actually worked with I think he with Phoenix Suns right now.
Okay.
If it wasn't for him, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have got back as fast as I did because he did a real good job with my ankle.
Yeah.
Made sure the swelling was down. We doing the heat, the ice. He making sure the flexibility. He getting it all right. So coach trying to force me to come back though. He like, you just gotta quit thinking about it.
Man, bro need to learn his lesson, man. He was the one he was tripping and forcing y'all to do. Then you get the injury. Then come on, man.
I remember in practice, he's like, you just gotta quit thinking about it. I'm like, bro, I got to make sure I'm good before I plan on this thing.
Yeah.
So when I come back, I'm basically wearing like a cast. They double taping my ankle.
Yeah.
And after the games, I'm going. I got ice,
Yeah.
hot tub, ice. They doing all that. So
Yeah.
I come back and like I think after J term or during J term, I come off the bench the first game. I mean, I have a decent game. Probably play like 20 minutes just trying to get back in the rhythm. Then we play Platteville. I go crazy. Come on, bench, go crazy. I go like 18, 19, get into the basket, player of the week. Boom. I'm like, okay. All right, like I'm getting back in flow of things. Our coach, this is why I was like, me and the coach went on. This is why I knew he was young. We went on the same what's name. He get kicked out of that for the next week. He got suspended because he got 2 techs. So he gets suspended.
Yeah.
I was closer with the assistant coaches. Assistant coaches really just let me rock. My best game at UW Lacrosse, he didn't coach. I would say that. He did not coach. Coach Bonnet was like, Brandon, we played River Falls at the crib. He said, rock out. He said, do you, control the game, and just do you. I ended up having like 28, 4 steals. Tone had a dub. We blew him out. Fehrenbach on fire. So I'm like, all right, we blow them out. We go back. We play Eau Claire the next day, or we play Eau Claire at their place. I have another good game, 100% from the field, like 16 points. Tone got another dub. I'm like, we rocking. Like here we go. He go back to trying to touch the post, and now team's starting to figure out. All right, double off with Brandon, double him on the ball screen, double Tom on the dribble penetration. So it's just like, man, they don't let Fehrenbach, don't help off Fehrenbach. So they kind of like, all right, man, you got to change this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really do it. So I remember we just start rest of the year we tanking. Like we had good games, bad games, good games, bad games. But like the games he would let us rock out, we would go. But we end up finishing the season like probably like a game or two above 500.
Okay.
But I just remember, and that was the thing. Like we only had, I would say on that team, the people that really cared about playing basketball. Like man, I'll play basketball just because I love playing it.
Yeah.
Not because of the extra stuff like girls or
Right.
we probably had like 6 or 7 players, and probably only out of those 6 or 7, 4 played. Like so it was just like, man, it was a messed up situation at that point. But like I said, I had fun playing with Tom because I had played with Tom so much. Of course, I had fun with Bach. You know, Bach was, I got to give it to Bach. He was definitely a leader because he was you know, it was games like me and Tom might be ready to quit. Like man, these dudes ain't trying to play. But Bach always kept us going. He was a real leader that year. But I ended up at the end of the year, me and Tom split the team MVP.
Oh, that's what's up.
I ended up leading like I said, led the league in steals, led the team in steals. And the crazy part about it is I missed those games. I was 1 steal away from breaking the school record my junior year. So I'm like, all right, so I'm thinking like, I'm still out of it. I really don't kick it like that. I really ain't. I will say this, Z came up there. Z started going to school lacrosse. So that gave me somebody like off the court to kick with, but still on the road. It's like, bro, I'm the only. But that summer went back to the mill and it got real hectic. That summer is when like everything just it didn't go my way. And I I let life get the best of me.
Man, just say what you want to about, because this is going into your last year.
Yeah.
Even though you had ups and downs junior year, you still know you're going to be that guy senior year, bro. So just fill us in, bro.
Man, so coming into that, so like I said, I had the injury during the year, my junior year. So coming into that summer, I'm like, all right, I got to go, I got to work. I got to get me and the coach weren't getting along. I remember, you know, after the season, we going to open gyms. I'm hooping. He like, why you landing so hard when you shoot? I'm like, what? I remember he said that, bro. And my guy Z was there. So Z like, man, F what he talking about, bro. Like, do you, bro? I'm like, man, I don't know why you on me like this now.
Yeah.
So I come back to the crib for the summer. I got stuff going on at the crib. I ain't gonna speak on family business, but I got stuff going on at the crib. So I'm like, all right, man, let's really focus on the gym. I go hoop.
Yeah.
Pick up game. Some of my old AAU teammates, boom booms. I forgot who I was playing. We was playing at like a competitive, what's the name?
Yeah.
Bro hit me with the cross. He tried to play with me, tried to do it again. I pick him. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm on a break. I'm dribbling, but the ball feel like it's deflated. I'm like, what's going on? I remember I stopped in the middle of the fast break. All my homeboys like, what you doing? I'm looking at the ball. I'm like, bro, something ain't right. I look at my thumb. My thumb is sideways. I done broke my thumb. Like, it's completely sideways, bro. I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like, all right. I tell him, I break my thumb. Take me back to the crib. Go to the crib. Now, granted, school and usually end in May.
Yeah.
So it was like May, June. I do it in early June.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. Hopefully they say like a month. I can get back. I go there. They like, you might need surgery. You out for the whole summer. I'm like, the whole summer?
Yeah, man.
So I'm like, all right. I'm like, cool. Like, I break down. I'm with my pops. I break down crying because he know I'm going through stuff. I break down. He like, it's all right, son. You get back. I'm like, all right. They put the cast on it. So the whole summer, I'm done. Like, I'm one hand in free throws. That's it.
Right.
I'm trying to stay in shape. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on at the crib. I'm trying to work a whole bunch. Ain't nothing going the way it's supposed to going into my senior year. So I get back to school. I'm like, all right. I'm already uncomfortable. Like I told you, when I'm uncomfortable, I just lock in my shell. I stay in the crib.
Yeah.
I go back to school. Me and coach still into it. This, that, and the third. So he's like, I'm trying to go through a little preseason stuff, trying to get back in shape. Now, granted, I ain't worked out the whole summer, so I'm not in shape. You think it'll give me time for my body to rest, but I'm really not in shape. Go through the whole summer. We trying to do the little preseason stuff. Preseason open gym. First open gym. Somebody step on my ankle. Now I done rolled my other ankle. So you got to think from November, my junior year, to basically the beginning of my senior year, I haven't really played. I played the end of that season, but I ain't played all summer. I go back to open gym, mess up my ankle in the open gym. I do no preseason workouts, none of that.
Yeah. Just
to try to get back by the first game. And by this time, the homeboy who worked on my ankle, Dave, he didn't graduate. So it's somebody totally different working on my ankle. This ankle ain't never been right since. Like, it's still crack and pop to this day. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I missed the whole preseason. First game, we played Carroll. Carroll got a point guard from Fond du Lac who was nice. So I'm like, I practiced 2 days that week and had the game against him. He dominated me. I'm like, I got people at the house. I mean, people at the game. Yeah. So it was ugly. Yeah. So I, at this point, when I hurt my ankle, I ain't going to class at all, bro. Like, when I say I ain't going to class, I'm waking up. My boy Z hit me like, bro, go to class. I'm like, bro, I'll go. Go to class, bro. I'll go. So I'm on crutches trying to get to class. I'll be like, man, it's cold as hell. I ain't going to class. Man, I don't even want to be here. Ain't none of my teammates really, and it ain't their job. But coach ain't really checking up on me. He ain't making sure my mental right. I done told him I got stuff going on at the crib. He ain't really. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I ain't going to class at all. The only person that know I really ain't going to class is JR, because I talk to him almost every day. So I'm like, bro, I ain't going to class. Him and Z. So season start. This, that, and the third. We played Wisco, Wisconsin Luther. We played them. Family at the game. I'm having a good game. We end up losing the game, being up by 20. Now he gets mad at me. Now, shout out to Coach Cable. Like I said, he a good dude. He was a young head coach. Now I done told you, I done hit 2 game winners up to this point in my career. Yeah. So final play of the game, I'm like, Coach, put the ball in my hands.
Yeah. Let me do me.
Yeah. He like, all right, 1-4 flat Brandon. We clear it out, we go 1-4 flat. I missed the shot.
Yeah.
He come back like, I knew I should have gave the ball to Tony. So I'm like, all right, like I'm not Tone cold. Like go Tone cold. If you wanted to draw it up for Tone, if you drew it up for Tone, cool. Like I'd have been like, all right, cool, Tone got it. But you drew it up for me. I took the shot I missed, and then you say that. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we play up at like St. Thomas or something. I have a good game against St. Thomas. And then we had break. And I remember telling JR, I said, the coach called me. I'm in L. He was like, bro, you ain't been going to... I was like, bro, I ain't went to a class, bro. I don't even want to be here. I didn't even want to play. Like, to keep it 100. My senior year, I wanted to just take it off because I had so much going on as far as off the court that I tried to tell coach. And I don't guess he really listened or he thought that shouldn't affect me on the court. Yeah. But, I really didn't want to play. So I remember I said, the coach called me, bro, I'm in L. So me and Jay in the car. Yeah. That phone went off. I said, look. He said, bro, you lying. I picked up the phone. He said, Brandon, what happened? I said, what you mean what happened? He said, we just got to work. They said you're not going to be able to play. I said, oh. He said, well, do you want to play? I said, to be honest with you, bro, I don't care. So he like, is that really? I said, coach, I didn't try. I said, look, if you want me to play, you can try to get me back, but I really ain't here because my head ain't here. I told you that. I really ain't been what's-the-name with you. Yeah. He was like, well, you could take a J term, and if you take the J term, you could come back after J term. I was like, all right. I did take the J term. I was like, bro, I was done. So I ended up just being done. Now, I felt bad because I did feel like I let my teammates down, dudes that I was cool with, like Tone. At the time with my boy Jeff, Corey Degner that went to Brookfield, you know. So I was like, I did feel bad because I did let people down, but I was like, man, I was so done with not only basketball, just lacrosse. I was like, bro, I'm tired of walking out the dorm, being the only black person on the team. Yeah. That's how people know me, like, oh, that's the black dude on the team. I'm fighting people for racial slurs and all types of stuff going on. So it was just like, I was done, bro. I was done. And the good part about that, and this is why I was like, you know, God do everything for a reason. I quit playing, and I ended up meeting my wife during that period of time, and she didn't even know I hooped. She had no idea who.
Was she going to lacrosse too?
She had been in lacrosse for 2 years at that point. I had no idea I hooped. She was just like, oh, that's a little cute dude. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I pushed up on her and she was with it, but I'm like, she had no idea I hooped. She didn't know I hooped till we started going out. Yeah. He was like, oh, you beat Brown girl, this, that, and the third. Oh, he hooped. She was like, he played basketball? Yeah. But I was like, by me meeting her, it was cool. And then like lacrosse got like the tech colleges up there. Yeah. So that was the only black people that was really up there. They went to the tech college. So shout out to my boy Lyndon, rest in peace. It's actually his birthday today. You know, he was a big help. My homeboy Pat, my guy L, my guy Mac. They was like, you know what I'm saying? They would look out because, man, when you up there and you the only black person, I was like, man, I'm feeding into the stereotype. Like, he only here to hooping. But I'm like, bro, at this point, I was just done with school, bro. Like, I was done with school. I was done with dealing with the coach. And I'm like, bro, you ain't even trying to recruit other players from the city. I ain't saying you got to recruit all black players. At least get a couple players from the city, bro. You know I'm up here awkward. You talking to me about it. Like, you done said it like when Z came up there, he was like, because Z was going to play on the team. He's like, if I don't put Z on the team, are you still going to play? I'm like, bro, you know I'm up here awkward, but it is what it is at this point. Like, but I was done, bro. Like, I had to break the news to my parents. My pops was disappointed. Moms was disappointed. But what I can say about my pops, he understood because he was like, man, he was like, you trying to do something ain't nobody in our family did. Like, you trying to graduate from college. You up there by yourself. You 3.5 hours away. I think I only had a whip 1 year up there, so I wasn't really able to go back and forth. So, but yeah, my senior year, bro, after 9 games, I was done. Done. And but what I will say, I still had the steals record. I broke the steals record.
There you go.
I was top. I think I was top 5 at the time, top 10 in assists for the school record. Like I said, my freshman year, that was our first 20-win season in like 20 years. Sophomore year, we were second. That was like the first time we placed like second in a long time. So
Yeah,
it was like solid. It was just like incomplete. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I left a lot on the table, and I don't want to put it all like on the on the coach or whatever. But if I had to go back and do it, I would do some things differently myself.
Yeah.
I probably would have stayed up there during like a J turn just to be like to try to get more in tune with the guys or to try to like. But I was just so uncomfortable, bro. Like I was, walking outside and not seeing nobody your race, like for days. Like I ain't seen no black people in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and this was before there wasn't no FaceTime, wasn't none of that. It was just like, bro, if I want to talk to moms, I gotta be on the phone. We ain't got good signal up here. I'm really just hitting people. This when Facebook just started, so I'm like, I might be able to talk to somebody on the book, but yeah, bro, it was a mess my senior year, bro.
Man, that's unfortunate to hear, but you were able to have success there, and then just the whole thing you did at Dominican, bro, that's stamped forever, bro. So if you had to just give some words on just the overall basketball journey you had, bro, what would you say?
Man, the overall basketball journey, man, I want to say it was, man, I wouldn't change it for nothing, man.
Yeah.
It was my whole basketball journey, I would say was just like I maxed out. I feel I maxed out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I was a guy who, I'm 140 pounds soaking wet. I didn't have a big name. I didn't play on these big AAU teams, these big circuits. But I mean, everybody I came up against, like, know who I am. Like, they know, like, man, that's a true point guard right there. Every player that played with me, I always say this: every player that played with me had their best year playing alongside me. Like, you look at the top scorers, look at when they played with me, the game was easy for them. I'm gonna make our best players, our best scorers. I'm gonna make them look like, man, they real cold. Bro, I took pride in that.
I needed you my senior year, bro. Shout out to Jig, the homie, my bro. But Jig was a pass first, or he was a shoot first point guard.
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying, because we lost the guard too. So I feel like we needed a true point guard. Man, so like you should have.
That's when the game was changing. Listen, if I would have had you, bro, you would have been getting them open shots.
Come on, man.
Getting them post looks.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I know the game. I know when this person needs to touch the ball. We go down the court and say, hey, Mark ain't touched it.
Yeah.
Pick and roll.
And again, shout out to Jig. But hey, man, he would have got you. He would have got you too, man. But I want to ask you this, bro, because like it's making sense with you. The way you was a point guard, the way you had to get people involved, you took that as a responsibility just to make sure the ship is going the right way. How was you able to translate that into being a father, bro? Being a husband? How did all that come into factor, man?
What I can say, man, being a husband and being a father is the most rewarding thing, bro.
Yeah.
Most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
And for all the young fellas out there, man, just make sure y'all pick the right woman.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I picked a good woman. And we got a beautiful daughter. We got another beautiful child on the way.
Shout out.
And I think part of basketball is help me be a leader, help me realize that, everything ain't always going to go the way that you anticipate to go, but, you just try to bounce back from it as best as you can. I got to say, with my pops, too, my pops really taught me looking at it now that I'm a father, Brandon taught me, like, how he sacrificed, looked out for me, things he still do for my sister. And like I said, I think everything happened for a reason because, I didn't end up doing the college the way I wanted to do it, but, my sister, she just graduated from Loyola.
Man, shout out to her.
Went, so,
shout out to her, man.
So it's like, man, being a husband, I was still able, gainfully employed, good job, make good money, wife make good money. Like I said, we stay out in the burbs. So it's like, I can't complain, man. I cannot complain. It's always, I'm always going to be pushing to make sure that, my children have an easier life than I had.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't have a hard life, what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
But yeah, being a father and being a husband, man, the way that relates to basketball is just, it's a team. Like, that's my team, man. I'm going to roll with my wife.
That's dope.
She going to roll with me. And my daughter, boy, boy, she a handful. You know what I'm saying? And it's supporting her because, you got the daughters, and daughters don't, I got a girly girl for real. So
yeah.
she be like hooping, like
Yeah.
I ain't picking up no basketball.
Yeah.
And then if we do pick up the little Nerf court or
Yeah.
whatever, she like trying to dribble it between my
Yeah,
legs.
yeah.
And she really ain't trying to hoop.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but nah, man, it's helped me a lot as far as being a father and being a leader of a family. Because that's basically when you have kids, when you have a wife, you got to be a leader.
Oh,
So,
facts.
yeah, you gotta.
Facts.
Ain't no days off. Like
No,
like,
not at
I'm
all.
in here. So I gotta give a shout out to all the men in my life, but especially my dad.
Yeah.
Keith,
Shout out to OG,
Wallace
man.
Shine.
Yeah.
They made sure like they helped build a young man that's gonna be responsible. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate them.
That's what's up. And I asked this question to everybody that's on the show, bro, just to make you think. So Brandon, the guy you are today, family man, father, all of that, hardworking guy. If you had to speak to young Brandon, bro, UW Lacrosse, senior year Brandon, man,
Ooh.
that guy, what would you tell him?
I would say, what I tell senior year Brandon? I would say, one thing I would say is stay focused
Yeah.
and know that the hard times only temporary.
Yeah.
Because I was going through a lot, and I don't think at that time I was trying to do too much for too many other people instead of doing it for myself, which was part of me. Part of me being a big brother, looking out for my sister. Part of me, being a friend, looking out for friends, trying to make sure everybody was all right, and wasn't really, keeping up with what I was doing. And I was like, man, just realize that, somebody can be your homeboy, but just because they your homeboy, y'all still got different routes. So you got to stay focused.
That's big time.
And I think I lost focus, and I lost my passion. And when I lost my focus and lost my passion, that just derailed me.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just derailed me. But if I go back, I wouldn't change it. If I did have to go back and change it, I would say I would have just chose. I would have told my mom, let me choose my college.
Yeah.
I would let me. I know you know what best. You know what is best for me.
Yeah.
But when you go to, I think for any young man or woman, college is that first real decision you make as an adult. And I think you have to make that decision yourself. That way, when you do go through stuff like I went through or anybody else goes through, you can live with those.
Yeah.
Because you made that decision.
Yeah. That's real, man. That's real. That's real words. Last question, bro, before I let you get a shout out, some people you want to put on. Even though this will kind of be like a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
So Dominican Championship point guard, bro. In the time you was there, because this list could be too big if I say who's your top 3 Dominican players, bro.
That's a list.
I need you to pick,
list.
as a point guard, bro, who is your top 3 players you love to pass to, and just in terms of their games, bro. Top 3 players you like to assist to at Dominican in your time.
At Dominican at my time?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Jay.
Yeah.
Because Jay going to make sure he finished the basket.
Yeah.
Go with Jay. I'm going to go with, got to go with Ben.
Yeah.
Because Ben always had swag. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I love about Ben.
Yeah.
Ben came in and just gave us like, man, I don't care. Like, we doing this. I'm dunking them. So Ben. We got Rob. We got Mondale.
Last one, man.
We got Breon. Yeah, that's hard, man. This last one is hard because I'm gonna have to put Rob and Breon. And this
Okay, that's fair.
I put Rob ahead of Breon because Rob was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And Rob, I just love like getting into the post. Rob on quick move, boom, 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 get to what he do. So got to give it to Rob. But I used to love playing with Breon because Breon was so silly, bro. If anybody who ever played with Breon, though, Breon is silly.
Yeah.
And Breon used to dunk.
Yeah.
So, like, if you break somebody down, I was breaking people down, dishing it off. Some dudes go up for layups. Ben to do the layup, but I usually pass it to Ben on, like, hit the 3 type. I'm dropping it off to Breon. He dunking.
Yeah.
He putting people in the basket.
Yeah,
So it used to be funny because he would dunk and, like, laugh and stuff. So I like, bro. Like, I can remember him just putting people in the basket and throwing lobs and, like, let's go. So Yeah, I'll put Breon as I just got to put him in there as the fourth because it's fun playing with Breeze.
Okay, that's fair. One more, man. If you had to give any flowers to Wally, bro, what would you say to him? Or say about him? Yeah.
Goated.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say, man. Listen, coaches, the coach you got is going to reflect on your players' confidence. So with Wally, man, listen, I came in Wally saw me play, but he wasn't really recruiting me.
Yeah.
But he gave me the opportunity, and I will always be grateful for that. He gave me the opportunity. Once he saw that I could play, he's like, all right, we're gonna try to, we're gonna try to get you in here, this, that, and the third. And I just remember even my senior year, bro, shooting was my Achilles heel. Like, you gotta be able to shoot, you gotta be able to shoot. And Wally would be like, go 1 for a flat, Brandon, pull up for 3.
Yeah.
No, I ain't a 3-point shooter. And I'd be like, you sure? He'd be like, pull up for 3.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we gonna get you I see you work. You just need the confidence. So Wallace Shine, man, as far as X's and O's, as far as, his relationship with the players, he would talk to us. I mean, Wallace Shine could come in and tell, something going on with Big B, something going on with Ben, something going on with Kwame, something going on with, hey, Brandon, is such and such, is he having trouble with his girl? He could tell. And that was I took that for granted at that point, but that was big. That was big
sure.
because,
for sure.
Yeah, Wally, I say, man, he's the greatest coach in the history of Wisconsin, you ask me. Followed by Keith Bearden.
Yeah, man, shout out to him, man.
Shout out by Keith Bearden, bro.
Yeah, man. And it kind of mixed in, but if you got any shout outs to give to anybody, it don't even got to just be basketball, man. Anything you want to shout out, anything you want to promote, man, the floor is yours, bro.
Man, shout out to the bros, shout out to Jay, shout out to Z. I remember my bros for, man, I don't know how, I've been knowing Z since 7th grade.
Yeah. Been
knowing Jay, like I said, competing against him since 6, been, bro, eating at each other's house since we was in the 9th grade. Shout out to moms and pops, shout out to my sister, all my AAU teammates, Trail, Q-Bar, Juan, Q-Nobe, list goes on. Man, just shout out to the city, man. The city, when you come from Milwaukee, it can be rough, but if it's a double-edged sword, bro. It's the rough part, but it make you, and it just, it give you that grit, it give you that what's the name, to get through. It help you get through. So, man, I just shout out to everybody. Shout out to, all the city schools. Shout out to, I almost forgot. Shout out to my wife, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to my wife, my daughter. Thank you for everything that she do, man. She is, she's God sent, bro. I can't say that. I dealt with some rats. Bro. She's woo. That woman is God sent.
Yeah,
but
that's gonna be a clip too, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, listen, the rats. I ain't gonna act like I was a saint, but man, I dealt with some rats.
No, I hear you, bro. But I just want to give a salute to you before we get out of here, because that team, bro, was the template for us. Yeah. The dope thing was we had Kwame from that team to kind of, and JD too, to kind of just you know what I'm saying? They gave us the game on how y'all moved, and we was able to still, use it as the template. We ain't win state. We made it there junior, but we ain't win it. But just in terms of how we moved, bro, we definitely saw y'all as an example. So just salute to you on that, man. And I always loved your game.
Appreciate it,
bro. Loved how you ran the floor, ran the team, bro. The times you would come back and open gyms or whatever and play with us, I'm like, bro, cold, man. And like I said, senior year, man, shout out to Jig, but it would have been dope to have a, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But man, I appreciate you coming through, bro. Getting your story, man. I gotta have you sign the board before you get out of here, bro.
Most definitely,
for sure, bro. Man.
But just before we go, bro, I want to give you your flowers.
Man, thank you, sir, man.
What you doing here, bro, and shining the spotlight on all these people from the city. That's big, bro. That is big, and you're doing it in the right manner, bro.
I appreciate you.
So appreciate you having me. Appreciate you reaching out. And like I said, you said y'all made it down the state, and then win it. But what I can say, man, y'all kept that legacy going because y'all kept it professional. Y'all worked. Sometimes it don't always go the way you want it to go, but y'all worked. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do, and y'all gave yourself the opportunity, man. And everything that you doing here, man, you should be proud of it, bro. So I appreciate you having me, and shouts out to you and yours.
Yes, sir, man. I think that's the mic drop moment. Ain't got to say nothing else after that, man. It's the homie Brandon Brown, man. Dominican legend, point guard, state champion, man. Love to have him here, man. But it is Mark Pace, it's Cut Talk. We out.
Appreciate you.